of a holy kiss. Always been a dreamer, will you dream with me? If I should lose my way, then will you follow me? Always been a dreamer, will you dream with me? If I stay like this, then will you stay with me? Always been a dreamer, will you dream with me? If I should lose my way, then will you follow me? Always
Was hit hard. He'll live. Server room, identify perimeter breach. Over.
Where you go? Where you go?
Withdraw your men.
Say again, Grim.
I'm going in. My turn.
What's going on?
What the? Impossible.
Didn't think you spooked this easy.
Micro recon drones. Cute.
You forgot this. The data key on your jugular.
You were saying?
What was on that server?
QCR shipment records. Question is, who wants eyes on it? And why?
Welcome, operators. The time has come. Ubisoft has teamed up with the Esports Club to create a comprehensive esports ecosystem in South Asia for Tom-Clancys-Rainbow-Six-Siege. Over the course of the year, players from all over the region will have the opportunity to partake in events as they work to earn a spot in the brand new South Asian Nationals. The South Asian competitive ecosystem will consist of two stages, the TEC Pro Series and the main event that is the South Asia Nationals. Players and teams from across South Asia will join in a new set of events called the Esports Club Pro Series for Rainbow-Six-Siege. These events will have 3 editions: spring, summer, and fall. Each carries its own prize pool of $2,000, but more importantly, grants the top 8 teams coveted SA Nationals qualifier points. After the conclusion of the TEC Pro Series Fall Edition, the 8 teams with the highest number of SA Nationals qualifier points collected throughout the year will move on to play the first ever edition of the new South Asia Nationals for Rainbow-Six-Siege. The South Asia Nationals represents the highest tier of competition in the region and carries a prize pool of $10,000 split among the top teams. The event will be divided into 2 phases. First, all 8 teams will compete against each other in the league stage in a round-robin system with best of 3 matches and no possibility of a draw. The winning team receives 2 points and the losing team will receive 1 consolation point if they manage to win a map. At the end of the league stage, the top 4 teams will move on to the playoffs, where they will face off in a best-of-3 double elimination bracket. The grand finals will be a best-of-5 contest to determine the 2022 champion of the South Asia Nationals. We hope you're as excited as we are to get this started. To be sure you don't miss any important updates about Rainbow Six Esports in South Asia, follow the Esports Club on Instagram and Twitter, as well as the official Twitter handle R6 Esports SA.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rainbow-Six-Siege South Asian Nationals, supported by Ubisoft, powered by Zotac Gaming, hosted by the Esports Club, and of course, our broadcast partner, Loco. If you guys are wondering what exactly happened between the first matchup, which was supposed to happen between Militant Esports versus Won't Stop Peaking, unfortunately for Militant Esports, they had a bit of an issue, so they had to go in for a forfeit. So Won't Stop Peaking will secure the first matchup, which means that we are directly heading off to the second matchup of Day 9 group stages. I'm your caster for today, Baba Gusta. With me, I have my co-caster Bullet the Crazy Gamer, as we are here to talk about our second matchup, which will happen between Team Phalanx versus KIRA Esports, and they will be currently fighting for a huge prize pool for the South Asian Nationals.
Of course, we'll be taking a look at the prize pool for this highest tier of the competition region, as heard in the lovely voice of Blackjack. 11,000 USD dollars on the line. The first one will be taking home 5,000 USD dollars. The second position will be taking home 3,000 USD dollars, and the third place will be taking home 1,000 USD dollars. And for the best part, the whole MVP of the tournament will be taking home 500 USD dollars. And taking a look at the team will be participating for the day 9. Most of the viewers will be knowing what other teams will be playing it, but for now it's going to be Won't Stop Peaking, Shaheens, MercenarieZ, Hunters LFO, Team UWU, KIRA Esports, MLT Esports, and of course last but not the least, Team Phalanx. Of course, talking about the side of Team Phalanx, yes, they'll be playing up against KIRA Esports. They have played a couple of times up against KIRA Esports in the Community Cup in the previous Pro Series as well, but for now let me remind you once again, Won't Stop Peaking up against MLT Esports have been declined for some reason. There have been a back of MLT Esports having backed off. So we are going up straight for the first match of the day for the stream, for the broadcast, but for the second matchup of the day to be exact, Team Phalanx up against KIRA Esports. And Baba Gustav, let me go back to you again. What do you think about Team Phalanx for their overall essay and performance? What do you think about KIRA Esports for overall of their performance?
Well, before answering that question, Bullet, let's just focus on the standings itself, as we get to see Hunters LFO still on the top of the leaderboard, securing 8 points, Shaheens with 8, MercenarieZ with 7, Won't Stop Peaking on 6th place, which means that KIRA Esports, they still have a lot of work that needs to be done. 6 points for them, Won't Stop Peaking. They're still trying to, ensure, and since that they had their, since that they had their victory up against Team Militant Esports, in which they had a lot of issues when it comes to connectivity and power cuts, they were forced for a forfeit itself, and that's the main reason why you see Team Won't Stop Peaking Esports securing 4th place. Now all we've got to do is see whether if KIRA Esports would also do the same when they go up against Team Phalanx. So as we take a look at the map vetoes itself, here we have our 3 maps. First map will be on Clubhouse, in which KIRA Esports will go on attack. Chalet will be the second map picked by Team KIRA Esports, and Phalanx will be the one to go on attack first. If both the sides of the teams have secured both of their own picked maps, then we will see decider being brought out, Oregon, in which KIRA Esports will be going on attack.
Yes, and especially talking about the side of KIRA Esports and how overall the map has been picked up. It kind of feels like, yes, for the map picks and overall map veto, KIRA Esports have played their mind game. Clubhouse is their very own strong map. Kind of talking about the side of map Chalet, yes, up against some teams, KIRA has faced a lot of ups and downs when it comes to the map of Chalet. Especially talking about the side of, last but not the least, talking about the side of map Oregon. Man, of course, it's a South Asia Nationals matchup. We always love to see team battling out on the map of Oregon. But yep, it kind of puts me on a little bit of confusion. Like KIRA Esports banned the map of Villa, especially even Team Phalanx also not taking a decision to play on the map of Villa. Both of the teams play really great on the map of Villa. I was expecting to see the map of Villa on their BO3. But for now, we are going straight in the game, and it's going to be the start of the operator ban phase. Yes, we are seeing a lot of Flores ban. We are seeing a lot of Valkyrie ban. But let's see what's going to be the what operator banning in from these two teams.
Yep, especially on a map like Clubhouse, you'd always expect to have a standard
Yep.
bans like the Thatcher on attack and Mira on defense, mainly because those two operators are specifically very strong on a map like Clubhouse
Yep.
itself. Ace ban will be made from KIRA Esports, an interesting one. This would at least force a lot of problems in which they would be that the attackers will bring in thermite more. The exothermic charge will at least have the attackers play at a nearby basis instead of throwing the gadget in a way that where that the hard breaches would still be safe. So the
Yep.
Ace will be banned out from the side of KIRA Esports. Valkyrie will be banned most of the time, especially on the side of defense. No matter what kind of maps do you see, Valkyrie is banned almost 80 to 90% of the time. And also Azami will be banned at the hands of Team Phalanx, which means that Mira is still available, although Mira has did had her minor nerfs where you could just melee the mirror to just shatter most of the information being gained. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually a good one to to understand exactly why they would prefer to ban
Yep.
Azami more than the Mira itself. So with the introduction of round number one and also the rosters on the side of Team Kira Esports, we have Death Armor,
Yep.
Shrisha, Avidbi, Vortex, and also once we get on the match right now, a third Vortex, Avidbi, Shisha, and Death Armor. On the side of Team Phalanx, we have Devastating, Guy with Audacity, Hercules, Don Escobar, and Eats a Libra. And to start it off, the first round itself, the site will be on second floor CCTV and cash room. The winner of this matchup will secure 2 points and having a lot of chances to secure their playoff spot.
Yeah, especially for both of the sides. We looked previously on the GFX, we saw the standings for both of the teams. This particular matchup is very much I would say important in terms of how they want to get into the top four. But for now, they have for the side of Team Flying, they have selected the objective of CCTV area and the first floor, second floor objective. Yes, CCTV and the cash room. I'm really sorry. But for now, it's going to be the first round where we see Team Flanks on the defense, and KIRA Esports will be for the first 6 rounds to be attacking on their side. It feels like KIRA Esports on the map of this particular map of Clubhouse, they are pretty much, I would say, very confident with their attacks. On what we talk about the previous Pro Series performance, if we take a look at the previous SAN matches, but for the side of Team Flags, like I have said on their previous matchups, they have improved very well on their team coordination. They have very much improved on their some of their unique strats. But for now, we see Vortex going for the exothermic charge on the particular wall, trying to make an opening, also trying to drone up the side of logistics office. Yes, we can see a double entry being made from the side of KIRA Esports, but for now there's going to be devastating. There's one more guy towards the side of the A objective, so it's going to be a little bit hard if the three of the players are pushing from one objective. I see no one pushing from the side of first floor area, no one's pushing from the stairs, so this can be interesting if they have as we can see, they have at least 2 C4s. Yes, they have 2 C4, 2 bulletproof cam as well. There's going to be not more of an intel gathering going on to the place, but there you go. First kill coming up from the side of that hammer. Don Escobar goes down. For now, it's going to be devastating to take the retrade happening with that SMG. Makes the situation even with that quick retrade. And there you go. 44 is going to be the scenario right now. 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. Still, I would say pushing in from one single door with all of the team. I think it's not very much of a very likely play what I see from these SM teams, and I'm not say very favorable play that's going to come toward the side of KIRA Esports. I see no one also picking in toward the side of B window. Oh, there's going to be Maverick coming in. The third picks up guy with Audacity. This is what I was talking about. You have the angles, you have the open angles to your plays that you can use to your advantage. Just use it and grab those kills.
Yep, and I could say for Team Phalanx, they're heavily relying on those C4s. Hercules a bit, inaccurate when it comes to throwing his magnet nades. It could have at least helped them to place it as soon as possible. But the same thing can also be said towards Vortex's end, as he's facing a lot of issues from the mute jammers all the way towards construction. And turns out it's actually working out in favor for Team Phalanx. Opening up the wall should be the main focus towards KIRA Esports. And because of that being halted around, they would have to make to do so with flashbangs. And here comes Huma's magnet nades to deny some certain important utilities. Will it be made to open up line of sight? No, they're not. They're just going to head in for a full-on push all the way towards Cash. And here comes the C4. That's one from Devastating, denying the C4 C4, denying the plant for the attackers. Now they're stuck at a very difficult positioning. They don't have good lines of sight, but they'll make do without it. Vortex and Avidvi gets the 2 kills, which leads to Hercules all the way towards Garage Catwalk. He will find one, but he needs to find 2 more. Avidvi's the one planting the defuse, and here comes Srisha for the protection all the way towards the windows side of CCTV. Will secure KIRA Esports victory on their first round of attack on CCTV room. And with it, I've got to say, round number 2, I kind of like how great when it comes to gaining information from the side of KIRA Esports. Of course, they did take a lot of time to execute towards the site itself. Yes, they were trying to have some evasive maneuvers with the help of the attack drones to give them vital information from the flanks. They did get the initial frag outs too, but once they realized that they didn't had necessary utilities to destroy that mute jammers, they were forced to push without it, and somehow they did ended up securing the whole site itself, even though that there was good control of Garage Catwalk from the side of Team Phalanx. The C4 was being put to great use, but it always came down to those major gunfights in which Risha and Death Amar did a brilliant job on that first round itself.
Yes, overall, we also saw Escobar going down from the hands of that Thama for the first place. So I guess overall the team coordination was looking very fine. Even though, like I said, 3 of the attackers are pushing in from the same area. I would say what I can also say same particular room. But in the end, yes, KIRA Esports pulled it off very nice. The main, I would say, the main challenge would be to just keep that momentum running up until the 6th round. We have seen KIRA Esports kind of losing their trade off in the rounds in the previous matches of SAN, and we have seen saw the same with the side of Team Phalanx. Overall, I would say a very good round coming in from the both sides. But yes, talking about the bans, we used to see on the map of Clubhouse, teams used to target Azami. Especially, I have seen Team Phalanx banning Azami in the previous ASEAN match. Also, KIRA Esports, I guess it was the side of KIRA Esports. Yeah, KIRA Esports went for a ban of Valkyrie. It could have been a very good, I would say, pick for sure. They could have gone for a ban of Qaid, maybe. There are a lot of hatches which can be played from the on the map of Clubhouse. So we could have seen a Qaid ban, but overall, I would say it could be a tricky or maybe some kind of strats that they want to use by not banning the side of Qaid. For now, it has been a pause which has been called off from the KIRA Esports as well. So we'll be waiting up till then. And yes, I guess there is going to be a little bit of talk or how they want to approach from here now. But overall, I would say a very good start coming in from both side. Of course, first round didn't went to the favor of Team Phalanx, but overall, I would say not a bit of a major mistakes being made from the side of Team Phalanx. Overall, a very good classic round of Siege coming in for the both teams.
Now, we've only looked at the first round itself, right?
Yes.
Second for CCTV. We just have to, wait for it and see what Phalanx would respond back in round number 2 itself. Because, granted, there was not a lot things that we could talk about. The only thing that we could say was that KIRA Esports was just playing according to books instead of pushing all the way towards CCTV. They didn't even breach the wall on CCTV. They just head on in towards the construction site, and they just immediately got control of it without facing any issues at all from Phalanx's side. So Phalanx, although they had majority of the lines of sight being covered, they even had control when it comes to choke points. It always came down to those gunfights in which KIRA Esports did win in the end. Let's not forget, Phalanx, just like you said, Bullet, we did get to see Phalanx play Villa a lot more often. We don't get to see Villa being brought out, but instead it will be Clubhouse. Although you could say that for both the sides, for Team Phalanx and KIRA Esports, it's more of an even ground. It always heavily relies on how great that they are when it comes to, getting their strategies right, making sure the trade games are working well and in favor for both sides. And when it comes to the trade games, KIRA Esports have succeeded in doing so, but when it comes to executing towards the site, they do take a lot of time. So with the pause time coming to an end, already confirmation being given from the side of Team Phalanx, we proceed to round number 2 with the same side once again. Second floor CCTV. And I've got to say, there won't be any changes being made in the operator picks itself, except for Guide Audacity, who will bring in the mirror. Having the mirror itself will give ample amount of information. And what's more interesting is that both of them will be placed into as a cache room itself. One from the the stairs connecting towards red, and the second which is all the way towards construction. So denial will be made, but once the attackers gets a hold of that one specific wall, it will be very difficult for Team Phalanx to hold those two important angles.
Yeah, and placing him towards this same room kind of makes sense because KIRA Esports, all four of the guys were pushing him from the same room. So this time around, because attackers could have definitely drawn it up, like they have the intel that they have placed up the black mirror over there. So it's going to be just they can go for the main wall breach, but for now we can see Maverick going up to the roof itself, and we now see a push coming in from the side of Kid's bedroom again. So this can be a little bit interesting how Don Escobar, the side of Jaeger, holds himself up. We saw exothermic charges again going in for the same place over the side of construction wall, the small wall that we see. So let's see how this time around, the side of KIRA Esports now push themselves up against Mira's black window. Of course, it's going to be the side of Kira pushing up for the same angle kill again. It's going to be this time around. It's going to be just the side of devastating go down, and no more C4 coming in from the side of the mute this time, but they still have one more C4 being left out from the side of guy with Audacity. Death Armor picks up another one. Jaeger goes down with that lovely headshot. 5v3 is going to be the scenario for now. And now I can say Team Phalanx, with overall how they are defending their angles, are now looking a little bit shakier. Now, because we are just seeing Vamai holding up here toward the side of the garage balcony, a garage platform you can call it. We can also call it balcony. But for now, two of the guys going down very early in the round. But there you go, Hercules comes up with one. A turbo is going down. Exothermic charge is being placed on the same wall. And it's going to be same push, a similar kind of push coming in from the side of Esports. Now I expect a little bit from the side of Team Phalanx. Can they hold it as for the time, as for the much of the time possible? Because there's going to be a similar strategy coming in from the side of KIRA Esports, which you can definitely counter it because you had two C4s. You also have one bulletproof cam, which can give you a lot of intel. But let's see what are they up to. 50 seconds left on the clock, and I see for now KIRA Esports making their way kind of. But I see also two players going down towards the side of first floor. Maybe we can see a push from the eastern stairs, or maybe a push coming from the garage.
Yeah, I believe they will make their presence known all the way from the stairs, mainly because Guy with Audacity, he still has ample amount of control from that specific spot. So flashbang will be thrown away, so does the garage catwalk control, where it's been heavily looked at from the default cam. So if there is one particular player all the way from that particular side, he
Good
will
C4.
be looked at, but that C4 from Guy with Audacity will catch out Vortex. This is huge. They will equalize it to a 3-3, and now he needs to be careful from the stairs, in which he does one more at the hands of Guy with Audacity before he gets traded out. Now it's a 1v2. Shisha has to go in for the plant, where Hercules, he's back at the same spot. Garage catwalk, the same place where he had lost his 1v2 clutch in round number 1. Post plant is in, so does the tensions from Hercules' end, as he needs to figure out the exact angles and information on both of the players. One of them will be indicated, and that will be Shisha all the way from the stairs. It's a very difficult task to do so, but with the element of surprise that Hercules had, he might be able to get one. Yeah, there you go. Headshot to remove Shisha. And now all he needs to do is just remove Death Armor, in which he doesn't have any grenades to do so. He could only rely on long range, in which he is all the way towards logistics. So all he has to do is just hear the noises. Hercules still committing to the defuse. And he will find it at the right time to eliminate the final problem. KIRA Esports, they will secure their attack round once more with Hercules repeating history, as it was a 1v2 situation once again for Team Phalanx, in which they could not recover. But at least an attempt was made. But for KIRA Esports, securing 2 rounds on attack means that there will be much more problems for Phalanx if they cannot recover it in round number 3.
Yeah, pushing them from the same side. Gym bedroom was their initial push on how they, went in to grab on the room of construction. But when I saw Team Phalanx going for the Mira window, I thought for a second, yeah, KIRA Esports will switch it up, try not to go for the similar start. But then, when KIRA Esports, 2 of the players decided to go in from the eastern stairs, I guess that was the time also, and I thought, yes, KIRA Esports will win this one. And this is what exactly happened. KIRA Esports, went in to do their push very, I would say, clever when they saw they cannot make a push from the construction itself. 4 of the guys cannot make it in. 1 C4 will come, and 1 guy is already watching the angle from the side of garage. So this was a very smart push being made from the side of KIRA Esports, where they thought that let's go. We have 4 players. We have a good manpower which we can use to just distract some of these defense operators, and this is exactly what they did. For now, they will the side of defense, the side of Team Phalanx will be going in for the objective point of gym and bedroom. For just protecting the side of gym and bedroom, you gotta watch out for the side of logistic. There are two windows which grenades can come in, so you gotta have Jaeger, which they have. Hercules has picked up Jaeger. You gotta have Vamai magnets, which they don't have. So this can be a little bit of problem because I see there are more than two. There are about 4 nades, and they have also 2 smoke nades and 3 flashbang over onto the side of Srisha. So this can be a little bit tricky because Jaeger ADS can be burned out pretty quick when the flashbangs and smokes go together well in hand with a little bit of more team coordination work being done from the side of attackers.
Usually you'd see a Phalanx go for basement church, but this time opting out a decision to bring in second floor gym is an interesting one. Since you have both the Mira and castle still being in play, you can have ample amount of control from the site itself, forcing the attackers to use their explosive utilities to remove those certain important gadgets. Now, Sledge's hammer will at least help them to remove some of the certain castle armor panels, but how would
Yeah.
you deal with the setup that's been made all the way towards second floor gym? Exothermic charge will be used to open up lines of sight, and for KIRA Esports, they shouldn't have any problems with any denials being made from that particular spot. So a breach will be done nonetheless. 130 seconds. And for KIRA Esports, this site might be a lot more difficult unless and until they find an opening kill. And let's not forget, one of the players, I believe the
Death
castle,
Hammer.
is playing from
Oh.
the maid stairs itself. But here comes the cooked nade from Death Hammer, immediately removing Hercules out of the place. It's going to put Team Phalanx the opening pick that KIRA Esports wanted.
Yeah, and I only see 2 of the guys making the way toward the side of objective. Deathhammer picks another one. I guess he had that into, or maybe both of the players were trying to make a rotate from the side of church area, and there you go. 2 of the guys already being down from team's side of Team Phalanx, but overall a much late kill giving away from the side of Team Phalanx. 45 seconds left on the clock as of now as I speak. Vortex goes down from the hands of Mira, I suppose. Don Escobar trying to make sure nobody is pushing from the side of logistic with that black window up. Devastating also trying to make sure that nobody comes in from the side of logistic hatch, but he has to make sure that nobody comes in from the main stairs as well. So this is going to be hard. 4v3 scenario, just 30 seconds left on the clock. One guy's coming in as we can see, but he was flashbang. Shisha goes with up. Mixed away for the side of Devastating. Makes it a 4v2, but there you go. Deathhammer picks up another one. It's going to be a 1v4. And KIRA Esports does it very easily as we can see, and very neat, I would say, because Deathhammer made his way towards the side of trophy area, got the second one. I guess when he was trying to cook up the nade, when we saw the nade going up with the vertical plate toward the side of logistic of office, I guess he was aiming for Devastating, and the third guy just went in. So nonetheless, it was a very successful nade. But 3-0 will be the scoreline, back-to-back victories going into the favor of KIRA Esports. Now, again, I guess a pause has been requested from the side of KIRA Esports only. But Team Phalanx also will get that advantage, to talk about what's going on, talk about what they can do to at least get last 3 rounds into their favor, as it's going to be the last 3 rounds of the defense, which they're going to play on the map of Clubhouse.
And since Clubhouse is heavily defender favored, especially with a map like Basement Church, second floor
Exactly.
CCTV, and second floor
Exactly.
gym, knowing that Mira is still available for the defensive side, it should supposed to be in favor for Team Phalanx. But
Yep.
losing when it comes to gaining that important control and having Death Armor cooked grenade in which his major focus was to remove the player off from that logistic mira wall, actually, not from logistics, from construction where there was a mirror being placed. KIRA
Mhm.
Esports' main concern was to remove that particular player. It wasn't, but it did ended up getting a kill nonetheless from the
Exactly.
grenade, which it did help KIRA Esports push in thoroughly towards logistics, getting almost a bit of a clearance. Next thing you know, all it had to do was just rely on your mechanical skills, and Shrisha did ended up getting those 3 important kills nonetheless by just dropping down from the hatch and removing 3 important players on the side of Team Phalanx. But for the defensive side, I'm not quite sure what exactly is happening at the moment. You could say that Team Phalanx have been playing this as passively as possible. There
Mhm.
was a roam attempt from the side of Team Phalanx, especially we did get to see one of the players from main stairs who were trying to make a quick getaway all the way towards blue stairs. I believe it was Libra or Don Escobar, but getting caught up from Death Armor like that clearly shows that KIRA
Yeah.
Esports, they have got it covered when it comes to denying information, denying rotates from the roamers from the side of Team Phalanx, and this is making Team Phalanx's hold on the side even much more difficult. They are not letting Team Phalanx go for a huge flank, get a kill, and then fall back safely. No, KIRA Esports, they are heavily denying on that. Since Jackal is still in play, Atharv really did give a lot of information on certain roamers, which really forced Phalanx in a very restrictive manner. So, on round number 4, they've got to figure out a way where they could use some great information. They could use the pulse, but instead, we will see Hercules bring in the Maestro's Evil Eye
True.
Cams. So the Evil Eye Cams will gain so much information from the side, but they need to play to it accordingly or try to waste a lot of time from KIRA Esports so that once they head in towards the side with just 30 seconds left, it's say a 3v4 or a 4v2
Oh,
situation,
whoa.
maybe Team Phalanx could have a way to bring this back.
I saw devastating opening up the church hat, so this can be one way to play in more aggressively. Because when you are opening the church hatch, from what I suppose, from what I have played Siege in my lifetime, you gotta have two of your roamers going in for the roaming part, and this is why I see Garavet Audacity also going in. And this can be that one part where we see Don as well. Yes, they are two of the roamers going in for the roam. And this can be that one part there which they want to say, KIRA Sports, now you want to come at us, come this time around, because we all have that, fast, I would say, to make that a rotation if somebody's pushing up. There you go, there you go. This is what the aggressive I was talking about. Gavatazi gets down from the hands of IBB. He knows the Ash position. He knows it with that alibi hologram now. Now the alibi will back it off for now, because they know for a fact that they have slowed down the majority of the part when it comes to the side of KIRA Esports. The Ash is down, Vigvi is down. They're trying to make up the hatches going in. Trying to open up the hatches. They are waiting here for the impact trick to be made, because they know for sure there's going to be one thermite coming into the play. For now, it's going to be the side of Deathamar, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's going to be Deathamar, the sledge guy, who's trying to make sure that he can get maximum of those vertical angles open, or maybe just try to make the way for the nades to just roll it up and get that one crucial kill for their team. Impact trick being made, and yes, the exothermic charges, or I suppose the flower charger from the side of Shisha, has been denied for the time being. They still have a lot of time in their hand, to make their way for the side of the team. And there you go. That Hammer picks up one guy. Hercules going down. C4 was, if I'm not wrong, C4 was on ground, but nonetheless, C4 went in unsuccessful, and there's going to be no more casualty taking place from the side of KIRA Esports. 4v4 situation happening in. Hercules already been done, but I guess the Evil Eye Camps will be still available to the side of Hercules. He can give out most of the call outs, especially when it comes to the side of Atharv, who is actually trying to make his push from the side of Blue Stairs, or you can call it Karat Storage Stairs. But two of the guys are still trying to hold up toward the side of Blue. Devastating also in a very good position to also take a look at toward the side of Kitchen Hatch. But hey, very nice angle, very nice peek coming in from the side of Don Escobar. And Atharv is out, who's trying to make his way from the side of Blue area. And now Vortex, I guess he has that intel toward the side of Melusi, but Deathhammer comes in, he finds the head, Vortex gets down. Devastating also picks up Deathhammer for the retrade. 2v2 scenario coming in, flashback going in, makes the drop. Gavatar gets one. Vortex has been spotted, if I'm not wrong, but yes, he gets Gavatar's Audacity. 1v1 scenario, he hasn't got to go in for the plant, and this is where the Church Hatch drone comes in. And they, like, Team Phalanx had definitely the upper hand advantage with that. 3 trades going to their favor. How most of the defensive operators were at the right position to gain that advantage, and especially this skill coming in from the side of Don Escobar. This made the whole play change, because if Atharv could have get that control from the side of Blue Room, that could have been very bad. But especially talking about the second kill coming in from the side of Vortex, where Deathhammer, where he did take out Vortex, and also that was a very commendable play. Or how KIRA Esports was getting that a lot of intel, especially in those late, a few, I would say, the late portion, the late period of time when it comes to the long round. Team Phalanx finally getting that one crucial victory to just stop that momentum coming into the favor of KIRA Esports, where they got back-to-back victories with their attacking play. For now, Team Phalanx will be again going into the side objective of CCTV and cash room area.
Oh boy, this is a risky decision here being made from Phalanx. This is the third time We're gonna see the same side being brought out. Second floor CCTV and cash room. The same side that KIRA Esports had secured 2 times. Now, Phalanx, although they did secure basement church, this site will be very difficult for them to hold on to. They could have just went back to second floor gym, but maybe I believe Phalanx are not confident on that particular site, so they wanted to give CCTV site a go. But this time, they're going to use the same tactic as they used in the previous round, and that is being aggressive in the early rounds itself. If they find an opening, and that opening has to be delivered either from LibraZen or from Don Escobar, they're trying their best efforts to see whether if they can get an opening pick or not. Islamic charge will be used, but it will be denied immediately from the electroclaws being thrown from Guy Audacity. Now he just needs to figure out a way to remove this one specific player. And since it's been heavily guarded from LibraZen, who's currently holding out an angle all the way from the window side of blue, it will be even much more tough for them to deal with. Islamic charge will be used once again. I'm not quite sure exactly where it's been used. Actually, yeah, it will be used
The
from
small wall.
construction. So construction wall will be opened up, which means that both Don Escobar will have a lot of problems. Okay, wall bang. Abidwi goes out. Don, he might be able to get one more, but no instant refrag will be made from a Tharv, equalizing it to a 4v4. Vortex, does he have any idea on the rest of the players? But no, it will be a team kill from Death Armor. Removing a Tharv on a 2v4 situation. This is not looking good from KIRA Esports' end. For a moment when you thought that they had the advantage, suddenly something happened. 2v4, they have no other choice to make a push, and now with the panic that's been settled out, a lot of utilities will get caught out from the Womize magnet nades. One grenade will be used, second grenade will get caught out from the ADS, so the frag grenade really didn't work out well in the hands of KIRA Esports, so they need to rely it with gunplay. And since they don't have control from red stairs, this side will be even much more tougher, knowing that Garage Catwalk is still in, even the player from Cash Room is still holding on to with the shotgun, and that is devastating. It's not going to look too good, though. Libra, on the other hand, really needs to be careful, though. Very low on HP. He should be playing accordingly to time, and Death Armor decides to go all the way downstairs, but it's too late. Devastating gets one. Death Armor, he doesn't have any idea, but he still gets the headshot nonetheless from Guy Audacity. Unexpected encounters. They hear, but he doesn't have much time left. 45 seconds. Diffuser will be pinged from the defensive side, and I'm pretty sure this round will go at the hands of Team Phalanx, unless and until we see a miracle being made from Death Armor.
Yeah, and this can be that miracle can be kind of like impossible for now, because he doesn't have any idea where the defenders are. He just had that one ping, cause where is that exact diffuser? That is toward the side of protection point, where Thermite was trying to Vortex was trying to make his way. But for now, Death Hammer will be still trying to make sure how to just get that last kill, or maybe just try to go in for the late push where attackers can just come in. But no, I don't think so. Team Phalanx is gonna do that mistake for now. But he gets one. Devastating goes down. It's gonna be a 1v2 scenario with that late second coming in, but Hercules will shut him down, and Team Phalanx wins another round. And this is going to be the second consecutive round coming back to back into the favor of Team Phalanx. And for now, I can say that yes, they have stopped the power and the momentum which was coming in from the side of KIRA Esports for the back-to-back rounds coming in from the side of KIRA Esports for the first 3 initial rounds what I was talking about. But what a kill coming in from the side of Devastating, on how he just anticipated that head and he just went for a complete good, just pure, I would say, wall bang moment which we see in Rainbow-Six-Siege. And overall a very good score line now. 3-2 will be into the lead, which is going to be in the favor of KIRA Esports. But for now, Team Phalanx will be now choosing to go for the side of Gym Bedroom. And again, a similar change coming in. We see now Mira pick being made. But again, I'm going to say the same thing on how I would say attackers have so much of the angles being into their own favor when it comes to the objective point of gym and bedroom. You need to have Jaeger ADS as well as my magnets, because there is I would say two windows being directly opened with that soft barricade towards the side of B and A. I'm pretty sure there's going to be someone pushing him from the side of logistic. Of course, the the eastern balcony wall is going to be being made open. So I guess yes, I always gonna say for the side of defense, you gotta have at least 2 of the operators definitely into your arsenal when you are going for the gym bedroom. One is going to be Vamai, one is going to be Jaeger if you want to just play it a little bit more passive. But talking about the passiveness of this overall Team Phalanx, I only see 2 of those operators only playing into the side of objective, and I see 3 of those operators I guess that's going to be one Hercules. It's going to be a guy with Audacity already going in for the roam. So this can be again that one point where some of the guys from the side of anyone from the side of Team Phalanx shuts up down. That early attacker is going to make his way inside the map and get that man advantage into their favor.
Yeah, this time devastating. Instead of bringing in the Mute's Jammer, he'll decide to trick the wall with the help of Kaid's Electroclaw Magnets. Although Mute's Jammer could have helped in denying a lot of information from the attackers, having a higher chances for the attackers to not open up second floor gym is also a good one, which would force the players from KIRA Esports to push all the way towards construction, force them to open up windows. Well, if they don't have control on towards CCTV, then they'll have even much more problems for them to deal with. So secondary EMP charges will be used from Atharv's end. Both of them will be used, but will we see a denial being made from the Kaid's Electroclaw? No, it does not. Breach will be done. Yep, there you go. Breach will be done. I'm not quite sure exactly where though. It should be maybe in towards construction. So Hibana's Iskaros pellets will be used to at least open up some certain lines of sights, and that too, it's been used on a soft wall, interestingly enough, not on towards the Mira window, in which he's going to use it right about now. Iskaros pellets will be used, it will be tossed out, and just like that, Hercules will be forced to fall all the way towards logistics. Where Death Amar, he's usually getting a lot of initial kills though, but will he expect this kill being made from Dawn all the way towards logistics? He'll find out and equalize it to a 4v4. And now, since Deatham has been neutralized, all they've got to do is just focus on the rest of the players. But Shrisha, he doesn't. He really needs to be careful, though, especially from Hercules' end. 4v3, and now we get to see KIRA Esports getting control of the situation. Headshot from Atharv as he removes the Jaeger out of the equation. Only two players left. It's Guy with Audacity and Libra, both of them, in which one of them has the C4. It could help them in denying a lot of information. And here comes Gaduracity all the way from main stairs, and Shrisha will come in for the instant denial. 3v1, Libra left all by himself, stuck at towards the bathroom side. A lot of angles being made around, and KIRA Esports will at least find one of them. And that will be at the hands of the Thermite. They will secure their first half on a 3-2 scoreline. As we proceed to round number 7 roll swap, Phalanx, they have secured 2 rounds on defense on a map like Clubhouse. And this is a map being picked by Team Phalanx. So if they have to secure the map, they've got to make sure that they come back in the second half itself.
Yeah, and overall, I would say how Team Phalanx got their last 2 rounds, it was a very good, I would say, semi kind of comeback coming in from the side of Team Phalanx. I really don't know whether it's a word or not, semi comeback, but overall, they did try their best, level up the score line on what I was thinking we might see a 5-1 or maybe a 6-0 coming into the favor of KIRA Esports, on how they were very looking confident, very confident onto their attacks. But for now, it's going to be the swap being made. Team Phalanx with that 2 rounds being into the defensive favor, and KIRA Esports with 4 of those attacking rounds into their favor. For now, it's going to be the side of KIRA Esports to defend up for the next 6 rounds, and we can see Church, Room, and Arsenal area going in first. It's going to be the objective point being made from the side of KIRA Esports. For the operator lineup, we can see Dethamar going in for the Vamai. We have Srisha playing on Alibi, Avidvi onto the smoke canisters. Of course, Vertex on Melusi with that Banshee charges, and Atharv, Banshee mines. It's not charges, I'm really sorry. Banshee mines, and Atharv with that Jaeger. Yes, we always see a combo when it comes from the side of KIRA Esports, that Melusi, Jaeger, and of course, I'm not sure whether it is Alibi or that Vamai combo, but I definitely see Melusi and Jaeger being very, I would say, the common and heavily picked up operators from the side of KIRA Esports whenever they go on defense on any kind of map. For the side of Team Phalanx, we will be seeing a devastating picking up buck. We can see Gavet Audacity with that Zophia's AR, especially when you have that combo of concussion mine, and of course the impact nades, Hercules with that exothermic charge, Don Escobar with that Hibana, and Libra going for those sledge nades. Overall, I would say both of the teams are looking very confident with their operative picks, but Strisha takes a heavy damage. I guess that was the side of Zofia from that AR, and he gets one, he gets another one, but no, it's going to be Strisha to shut that down. It's going to be devastating with another trade happening in, and it's going to be a very, very early trades happening in right here on where KIRA Esports have decided to, if you're going to get some kills, we're going to go for the retrade. So there you have it. 3v4 is going to be the scenario, kind of not being favored toward the side of KIRA Esports, but for now, the roaming, I guess it was the side of, yes, it was the side of Vortex have taken a decision to go down towards the side of objective point. For now, there's going to be no more hard breach kind of operator being shut down with those early frags. It's just going to be Zofia, no more concussion and impact nades being into the play. Let's see on how they want to push in from here as well. There's still a lot of time left on the side of Team Phalanx to make their way. Take a little bit of time more, try to drone up the area, try to gather as much as intel as possible, and then decide on how they want to push.
Yeah, and since both of the Romas have been taken care of, both the Tharva and Shrisha, which could have changed the entire round all by themselves. Devastating, on the other hand, he loves going aggressive just like that. Information from the attack drone to see whether if he can find, or should I say, pinpoint an accurate location on players' whereabouts. They also need to be careful on towards the site itself. Drone will be placed to look at the flanks, whereas one of the players, Guy with Audacity, will just keep looking at it. And then you still have three of the players who are still connecting in towards the side. Hatches will be opened up, which means that the push will be made all the way by dropping down the arsenal hatch itself. Now, here comes the main problem. They don't have control in towards tunnels. They don't have control on main stairs itself. So they're gonna make do by getting control on blue itself with the help of smoke gas, with the help of smoke grenades and Hercules. He finds Death Amar while he was unaware of the drops being made all the way towards the hatch itself, which leads to Vortex in a 1v4. He will find one. He gets the second, but that crossfire angle being made all the way towards the K9 position will secure Phalanx the win that they require in round number 7.
With the amount of the heavy, I would say, push being made from the side of Team Phalanx, and overall a very good round of play coming in from their favor. How they got a third initially, I mean they also got the second guy from their side. So I would say yes, Team Phalanx knows how to attack when it comes to the side of Clubhouse. But talking about the side of KIRA Esports, giving away two guys initially was not a very, I would say, a clever move. But overall, how they want to play on the side of defense, it was their first round of defense on the map of Clubhouse. It's okay. But for now, they have to just realize that Team Flags are slowly trying to come back their way and make the score line more even for now, because we saw 4-2 was the score before the swap being made last round into the favor of Team Phalanx. But for now, yes, KIRA Esports have again went for the church and arsenal room area. We will now see how they wanna defend their way, because there has been no more, I would say, a change in the operator picks. There's going to be a little bit change that some other player has gone for the similar operator. But we talk about the side of Team Phalanx. Yes, we can see devastating. Instead of going Buck, he has went in for IQ, trying to spot those creep charges, trying to spot those Melusi Banshee mines far away from his IQ ability gadget. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the gadgets is in itself a really good way for an IQ to detect exactly where those electroclaws, the prismas, and also the ADSs, which it could help the attackers to know exactly where to throw those important grenades. Now, since tunnel will be heavily bombarded with two ADSs, in which most of the projectiles will be delayed, Phalanx, on the other hand, will decide to go in on a very slow and methodical approach by getting control on second floor first. Mainly because that there are two players from the side of KIRA Esports who are currently holding down all the way towards construction itself, which means that they need to focus on removing the roamers first. And that's exactly what Phalanx are trying to do with Devastating, already dropping down the hatches in towards logistics. He will try to hunt down the players on the side of KIRA Esports, and if they find the opening pick just like they did in the previous round, then you could say that KIRA Esports will be in trouble once again. Let's not forget, it's a minute and 50 seconds. Team Phalanx are taking this time as best as they could, but for KIRA Esports, wasting time is their main objective because they're on defense first. They want to make sure that Team Phalanx would waste ample amount of time from second floor, which would lead to Team Phalanx having a lot of issues. Once they get control on the hatch, they open it up, then they head in for the drop down, only to realize that all 5 players are still alive. And what's more problematic is that since Deatham are securing the kill off from Libra, there goes your sledge, no more grenades, and no more a lot of chance for them to, hopefully to get a kill or two. And so does Devastating in the hands of Vortex, unaware of his location, would put Team Phalanx at a major disadvantage.
Yep, last time it was, KIRA Esports on how their, both of the defenders went on from the hands of Team Phalanx. But this time it's going to be the other way. KIRA Esports backing it up with a good, I would say, gunfight being into their favor, and Team Phalanx with that very, I would say, less amount of time left on to the round number 8, just 40 seconds as now I speak. It's going to be a little bit of trouble on how they want to push, because there's going to be no more nades, no more IQ gadget, how they can, try to avoid those Belushi Banshee mine area, because it can slow you down pretty quick and also kind of like resembles your aim, shakes you up a little bit. But for now, it's going to be a blue push coming in from the side of Zofia. It's going to be with Audacity with that AR. I would say the Zofia's AR is a very, very good AR. I just want to spray and get that aim locked in. But for now, it's going to be Melusi to take out the guy with Audacity. He kind of got it, but still, Vortex with that second kill coming in his way. There's two more attackers left. Don Escobar also goes down. There's going to be Thermite left in a 5 seconds play. I don't think so. It's going to be into the favor of Team Phalanx for now. And how the odds have been changed. KIRA Esports, on how they were looking very, I would say, shaked up on the previous round, but the last round went to the favor of KIRA Esports very beautifully, and a timeout has been requested for the side of Team Phalanx. I would say a very much needed timeout on how the game is going back and forth, but in the end into the favor of KIRA Esports. And with that 2-round lead coming in, this can be pretty quick on how KIRA Esports can end this map with a 7-3 scoreline by going to the match point with a 6-3 scoreline. But overall, I would say KIRA Esports, on the how they were looking very confident on attacking side, they're now looking much more confident with their defensive plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Phalanx, they definitely needed this timeout exactly on the amount of time that it took for them to remove the rumors first. And what's more problematic was that once they decided to focus on the side, it was too late. The crossfire angles were too strong for Phalanx to handle. And KIRA Esports, they didn't even needed any gadgets nor utilities to deny any certain lines of sight, or even trying to have a total of 6 impacts just to deny one
Yep.
hatch towards kitchen. So there wasn't anything related towards that. KIRA Esports just heavily relied, like, look, how about we both of us just play into a second floor, and if we get even if we get detected from the attack drones, we'll just play around it. That's all KIRA Esports did. Team Phalanx took the bait, and once they decided to clear out the rumors first in the first half itself, turns out they did cut off on a very bad situation. And especially with Vortex, the way how he finds his timing
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
pushing all the way from blue, getting away with a kill or two. He actually did get away with 2 kills by going in for a very huge peak.
Yes, yes.
When I meant very huge peak, it was like a very wide peak being
Wide
made
peak.
from
Yeah.
blue, which was very unexpected, because most of the time you'd usually go in for a normal pixel peak, or just a quick peek just to gain information. But going in for a wide peak like that, you'd give away your whole cover, but you'll still have the element of surprise. And eventually Vortex put use of that. Vortex did ended up getting the advantage in his hand itself. So a pause will be requested from the side of Team Phalanx. Maybe there might be some issues being made from them, so a pause will be made too. But for KIRA Esports, they will require 2 round wins on defense. The problem is, can they do it, or will Team Phalanx secure 2 rounds on attack? Well, we just have to wait and watch.
Yeah, another pause has been requested from the side of KIRA Esports. Both of the teams are, trying to just take their time to think on how they can win this particular map up onto their favor. But overall, I would say a good play coming in from both sides. Team Flag also trying to, just when they are about to finish up the finish line with their objective, it's going to be the side of KIRA Esports to come up with their 2 early kills, and Team Phalanx gets shaken up on how we saw the last 2 rounds happening in. Also for the side of KIRA Esports is that attacker, I would say, on how they played up their attacking rounds, on how they got into their favor. It's now resulting in with their advantage. So overall, I would say, on yes, like you said, man, Clubhouse is a very favored kind of defense favored map. I kind of agree to it, but I like when they were playing Mira. I just want to say one thing: they could have more smartly or cleverly or heavily kind of relied onto that Mira window on how they were about to play, and how they were wanted to play on that those particular defensive rounds, because very lessly, or I would say it was kind of being completely neglected, completely ignored from the side of Kira Esports on how they want to eliminate that black window first. We didn't see Twitch pick. We didn't see any of those nades being targeted vertically towards the side of Mira window. We only saw one time on when they were, I guess it was round number 3 or round number 2, on where they saw there, okay, two black window from the side of Mira. we can't push it from here. Let's two guys push it from the side of Eastern States. Let's do that. It was just one time. Most of the time, KIRA Esports were ignoring that, and that could have been that one pointer where I feel like Team Phalanx have heavily relied on to the play of Mira, and from there they could have just tried to get maximum of those defensive rounds into their favor, because this is what happening in KIRA Esports have that 5-3 advantage because of those attacking rounds being into their favor because they won it. And now Team Phalanx have to do more of those much of that hard work to just equalize it and then try to make it a 6-5 and then maybe win the map of Clubhouse.
And now we also have our second and third map. The second map being on Chalet, being picked by Team KIRA Esports. And if Phalanx do decide to win their second map, we might be able to see a decider. Oregon, Clubhouse and Oregon, both of the maps has been brought out. One of the most standard maps in this region. And since the ready confirmation will be made from the side of Team Phalanx, we might be able to resume back round number 9 itself. KIRA Esports have secured 5 rounds. All they've got to do is just secure 2 more rounds on defense. And having a site like second for CCTV and second for Gym shouldn't be much of a problem for them to deal with. Although on round number 17, Phalanx did secure one of their attack rounds, while KIRA Esports had a lot of problems by, getting themselves eliminated out, especially in the early phase, with both Srisha and Death Hour, both of them were removed out in the second floor site itself. So all KIRA Esports need to do is just make sure that whenever if they find an opportunity, they've got to make sure that they only have one. If they try to go in for a pix, if they go in for a repeak once again, and even if they try to overpeak, this could end up being in favor for Team Phalanx itself. So all in all, Phalanx, although that they've secured 2 rounds on defense and 1 round on attack, they still have a chance to bring this back. They still have a chance to secure 2 more rounds on attack itself if their coordination is looking well in their end. And I just realized that Team Phalanx, you'd usually see Hussein who'd play as the IQ,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
instead it will be Devastating who will be the one to fill in the gaps. So with the action phase coming in play, we'll be seeing Shisha bring in the Yokai drone's Echo. So you could say that this setup is heavily relied on information gain and denial from those smoke gas canisters. Heavily denial though, with Vortex bringing in the bandit charges. So expect a lot of tricks being made. But in order for that to happen, they've got to make sure that they have control on towards first floor lounge. If they don't have that, and if they do decide to go in for an attempted trick towards CCTV, especially with the IQ being in play, then it's not going to look too well if they're not cautious.
Yeah, with these operators being picked, like you said, Mansisha with that Echo, we also have two of the impact net coming into the play from the side of Srisha. Yes, he can go for those denial as well, but I kind of expect. I have many and heavy expectations coming in from the side of KIRA Esports, particularly for this round on how they have entered for those specific operators. For now, yes, it's going to be a classic, wall being open from the side of Team Phalanx, trying to get their subgroup wall open. Let's see if they can do that or not. Trying to go with that gone trick which we often see, but I don't think so which it can happen right now. But there's gonna be a bandit trick, of course, being made from the side of Team Phalanx. Let's see if they can open the wall or not, because we can see 3 of those attackers being making their push from the side of the construction, and also we can see maybe you can see the gym bedroom area. Impact nades are also being played, and yes, they have successfully got the CCTV room wall area open. Oh, nades coming in. Vortex almost getting killed now. KIRA Esports come with the kill. Devastating goes down. It's going to be Libra to go with that. Yeah, third comes with another one's going to be shut down coming from the hands of Libra. 3-1 is going to be the scenario. And what just happened? KIRA Esports won their way. I really want to see the replay.
Well, basically, Phalanx decided to brute force their way in with a rush.
Why?
So, I mean, if there is a chance for a heavy rush, why not? I mean, you even had the exothermic charge. You even saw a cooked nade all the way from below. And they decided, you know what? It's time for us to put a pedal to the metal. They decided to push in towards CCTV without having any information nor control on any situations. We've seen Phalanx do this a lot of times, and I could give you the same example once they went up against Team Mercenaries, right?
Yeah,
Phalanx,
yeah, I
I
remember.
believe, I remember Phalanx did attempt like two rushes on Clubhouse, and it did ended up being in their favor once. Actually, no,
Okay.
both of the rushes that they've made an attempt, Team Phalanx had secured both of them. I believe I'm saying this right. I believe it was Phalanx versus
It
Mercenaries.
was whether it was Clubhouse or Villa. I remember it
Yeah,
was
it
happening
was
on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. It was
Okay,
Clubhouse. It
okay,
did go all the way to 8-6 with the
okay.
Phalanx securing map number 2. Yeah, I remember this. Mercenaries, even though that they expect Phalanx to go in for a rush like this, Phalanx did ended up winning majority of those rush contests. Now, since
Okay.
you're going up against KIRA Esports, they are heavily attentive once they hear a rush being made. So for Phalanx, I've got to ask you a question. Was this rush worth it?
Maybe we can ask that question for a post match, or maybe when we get to interview that. But for now, we see Devastating going in very early to the side of kitchen area, trying to bombard the side of logistic office. Yes, again trying to play with that similar trick which we saw from the side of Death Hammer when they were attacking. But they need to make sure there's going to be two more defenders trying to play on the first floor area. Thorf has a pretty good angle towards the bathroom doorway. Maybe if I want to say an answer to your question on how they are not equalized on the score line, I guess it was not worth it from my perspective. But there you go, the setting goes down. I guess it's going to be kill coming from the side of a third only on how he was having that angle on the
Oh
bathroom doorway.
no.
But no, he's already out. He can go for a revive, and yes, they will go for a revive, and the DBNO state will come into a live state. But for now, on Team Phalanx is kind of looking a little bit confused on how they want to approach this particular round. We see Sledge trying to open up that stairway window. We see Libra going for those castle barricades. I guess the time being onto the play, we might have seen the exothermic charge going the play from the side of subroof area. The wall could have been opened by now, but almost finding the head. Vortex can go for a C4. Takes a little bit of damage from the hands of devastating. I guess it was Kira. It was the side of Libra, but there you have it. Deathhammer comes up with a kill on Don Escobar, makes the situation 5v4. Avivi comes up with another one. Devastating goes down. And this, my friend, is not looking very good for the side of Team Phalanx.
Yeah, this could spell doom towards Team Phalanx since they've lost a lot of bodies. Two of them, an important one of that too. The Osa and the Sledge being eliminated. A very late placement of the mirrors, although it was the bathroom side, but it will be done nonetheless at prior 40 seconds. C4 is also present, which means that the players pushing towards second floor gym will be denied immediately, and time is running out. So, Team Phalanx, what is your response? KIRA Esports have shut down the entire push being made from second floor gym. And God Audacity still trying to find an opening with the hatch all the way downstairs. Now Hercules, he's going to sprint all the way towards it and find a loophole towards it, but it will be denied
You
immediately
can
from
no.
Death Amar and Shrisha. A headshot will be made, and just like that, folks, we will see KIRA Esports secure their first map on Clubhouse.
I really want to say this with that rush being into their not being into their favor on again how I feel like yes on they were looking very much confused man with their overall push because you had Osa and what could have done just you have two of those hard breaches. You have Libra playing the Hibana, you have Hercules playing that exothermic charge. You could have just easily breached your way towards Saro balcony. Then you have Osa's Talon shield. You could have confused them with a little bit of nades, a little bit of those. I guess they had smoke or maybe flashbangs from the hand of Libra, where he was playing Hibana. So yes, you could have used that, try to make your way towards the side of gym area, and then make your play. But this is not what happened. And yes, it's going to be KIRA Esports map. But of course, we still have last two maps remaining in. And when I say last two maps, I can also say the last one map because with now KIRA Esports being onto the advantage, being a victory on the map of Clubhouse, we will proceed onto the map of Chalet. And yes, what do you think about the last two rounds, Babagusta? I guess it was the side of Team Phalanx, like maybe they just want to end the first map and proceed on the map number two as fast as possible.
Um, I don't know about that, Bullet, but I've got to say for Team Phalanx, the push that had been made from KIRA Esports was supposed to be easier for them to handle it out. Since they had good control from Garage Catwalk, I think it mainly had to do with the smoke grenades that had blocked some certain lines of sight. This denied the Wamai to at least figure out a way to get a kill or two, and blind firing it will give a lot of chances towards Kira Esports to have maximum amount of success towards a site on second floor cash. Now, since you're talking about the previous two rounds, Team Phalanx, well, you could say it's high likely chance that it could be the case. I mean, I mean, no offense to Phalanx, they did make an attempted rush towards CCTV, but it was halted by a bandit charges. Since it did
Yeah.
take a lot of time for Team Phalanx to open up that particular lines of sight, Kira Esports, they were already prepped and ready, mainly because one, the bandit is trying to tricking it. Second, there is huge lines of sights. You still have to focus on Garage Catwalk. You still need to be careful on the red stairs and even on cash. Every single angle was placed in a way that Kira Esports, they were prepped and ready with whatever push that Team Phalanx was supposed to give it to them. And since the breach did succeed, they did head in for an aggro push. Kira Esports expected this, and they did ended up getting those important kills. And also in the final round as well, they did take a lot of time to open up the second floor gym itself. Devastating had a mighty fall all the way from the top side, so he was revived back with a total of 10 HP. But all in all, for Team Phalanx, hopefully we might be able to see them perform even better in the second map itself, which will be on Chalet. But the major challenge is that that map has been picked by Team Kira Esports. Match summary itself: Death Armor on the top of the leaderboard, securing 15 kills and 5 opening picks. 5 opening picks. This man right here in the first half, he's usually the one who's been getting a lot of picks from the sledge itself.
Yeah.
And on the side of Team Phalanx, you have Hercules with a total of 5 kills, 60% cost, and Guy with Audacity is currently the one who has 2 opening picks from his end.
I also saw devastating making, but nevertheless, but overall, I would say Team Flanks, yes, in their defensive side, they did try to make things right. They tried to equalize their best, but I would say their defense are looking more good as I saw their attack not being to the right place compared to what I saw from the side of Kira Esports. But nonetheless, it's going to be a 7-3 victory coming into the favor of Kira Esports, and our second map is going to be the map of Shelly. Like my friend, my brother Baba Gusta said Shelly is the pick from the side of Kira Esports, but I'm gonna say Shelly is a very hard map to play as an attacker. The defense side has a lot of space, a lot of, I would say, kind of in advantage, especially you're trying to do the heavy roaming side of things. Try to go with that two roamer play. You have a lot of entry points, a lot of I would say hatches that can be smartly played. And if you have a guy who can play really good with Oryx, Shelly can be a very dangerous map for the side of attackers. And for what I meant to say, a dangerous size, as we can see, it's going to be the first team for the first 6 rounds to attack. It's going to be the side of Team Phalanx, and this can be a little bit of tricky part for the side of Team Phalanx on how they want to get past with those first 6 rounds and then try to defense it up on the map of Shelly up against Kira Esports.
And since Phalanx will be on attack first, I believe they'll be having the advantage on a map Chalet. All it requires is just good coordination if the site is on first floor, basement, and gaming room. Kitchen and dining will be the difficult side for Phalanx, but nonetheless, second floor, master bedroom and office, and first floor bar and gaming room will be the higher chances where the attackers could win majority of their rounds. Unless and until if they have a lot of problems by not having proper control into its mezzanine, having problems by not being able to remove the roamers very quickly, is going to put Team Phalanx on a major disadvantage. So talk about map number one, Clubhouse. It did ended up on a 7-3 score line with Kira Esports not having any problems when it comes to both on attack as well as on defense. Sure, Phalanx did secure majority of the rounds on basement church and Arsenal room with
Yes.
good usage of their utilities. The impact needs to deny a lot of utilities from kitchen hatches. It did work out. There was an extended roam. They did opened up the bar hatch in which Kira Esports had no idea that the hatches were opened up. So There was a lot
Yes.
of factors that Team Phalanx could have went in for an aggressive approach, and they actually did it in round number 3 itself. Although on the first 3 rounds Phalanx decided to play it as passively as possible, it could have helped out if they had a smoke. The gas canisters could have at least wasted a lot of time, and since if you are going even more passive, you could just go ahead and pick Goyo instead. Vulcan Shield, 20 seconds of denial with his flames. That is more than enough for the attackers to waste a lot of time and put themselves in a pressure, knowing that you only have 30 seconds left. They could have done that, but instead, heavily relying on crossfire angles really did ended up being in favor for KIRA Esports itself. Now, map number 2, Chalet. 7-3 is the scoreline on map Clubhouse itself. So on map Chalet, things will be a lot more different than you'd expect. Team Phalanx, yes, like I said, they'll be on attack first, but the major thing that we have to talk about is the ban phase itself. What kind of bans do we expect on a map like Chalet? Do we expect a hard breacher ban? Do we expect to see the same standard bans as we get to see a Thatcher and a Mira ban being used every single time, or will we get to see some changes like a Nook ban on attack? uh, Azami ban on defense will be high enough, but we do
I
get to see a
guess
lot
so.
of Valkyrie
Yeah.
bans being made on defense too.
I feel like if Team Phalanx want to win maximum of those attacking odds in their favor, they gotta ban Kaid. On how even Kira Esports were able to use Bandit, even also they were trying to deny those heartbeat charges, whether it was Hibana's Carrier Pellet, whether it was exothermic charger from the side of Thermite. I guess they have to ban Kaid. From the side of defense is going to be their first priority. It should be their first priority because onto the side of Chalet, you have a lot of hatches where you can, as attacker, can make that advantage. Whether you talk about the side of basement, whether you talk about the side of kitchen and dining, whether you even also talk about towards the side of the other one where it is the blue lounge area. You can maximum of those hatches can be used as the attacking side advantage, especially if you combine with that fuse charges. You got that hatch angle open. You have that fuse combo going up. It's going to be all hustle and tussle toward the side of defense on how to just exit with that take exit from those few charges. So I feel like yes, there should be an Kaid ban. We might see an Azami ban coming in. There's a heavy chance of how Mira was heavily picked up from the side of Team Phalanx Kira Esports can go in for the side of Mira ban. But for now, we'll be jumping straight into the second map up against Team Flanks up against Kira Esports. Let me remind you folks, Kira Esports have already won the map of Clubhouse with an amazing scoreline of 7-3. Kira Esports will be banning the first attacking operator first. So what do you guess? Give me a quick guess, Baba.
No matter how many times I try to make a quick
Just
guess,
just
it
do it,
always
just do
ends
it,
up
just do it.
being true. So I'm not going to say it. All right. I am not making any prediction. All right, it's going to be a 7-5 in favor for Kira Esports. Pretend that I didn't say it. I
No.
didn't say anything about that. But I could say that this could go very close on a map like Chalet. I can feel it. And what's more interesting is that Kira Esports, they're
Yes,
actually
man.
banning Ace for the second time. I'm not quite sure what the reason might be. Mainly, is it because of his weapon of the AK-12, or is it because of how versatile he is when it comes to opening up those lines of sight with the help of his Salmo breach charges? But all in all, Phalanx will also make their decision to ban the Osa, a very important attacker,
Yeah. Yeah.
as you have the bulletproof shields and also the secondary EMP
Oh,
that
oh, oh,
merge so well. And
oh, oh.
especially once the attackers have good control with the bulletproof shield, it will be a bit difficult for them to deal with. But nonetheless, Azami will be banned once again in the hands of Team Phalanx, which means that Kira Esports pretty sure that they will ban Valkyrie instead because they don't want to give a lot of information. Or Kira Esports can prove me wrong by banning out a different operator. No, they do not. Valkyrie will be banned
Oh.
because Valkyrie is currently the one who's been banned a lot more than Mira, interestingly enough.
Yeah, especially when it comes to our region, man. From the past 1 year, or maybe I can say 11 months, I've noticed like teams are not more often going for Mira ban, so they are going for. I have also seen a lot of Goyo bans, but for now, it's gonna be more heavily, banning the side of Valkyrie, especially because of that C4 and with that second, the black eye camps, especially if you on the map of Villa, on the map of even I would say Oregon. Talk about Chalet, you have a lot of spots where you can just completely, just hide it all, especially if you're not using it because the blue light, especially rings in, like lights it out when the attackers are using it. So I would say, of course, a Valkyrie ban was a wise one coming in from the side of KIRA Esports on how they being on the side of defense, they haven't been for Ace ban when it comes to the attacking ban, because of course Ace can be pretty quick with those aqua thermal charges. But again, I'm gonna say this Team Phalanx, what from I expect, being already one map down, you want to win this as quickly as possible, or how much you need those points to be on the top 5, top 4. You could have gone for a Kaid ban, just try to get in the opening, try to get up those angles open as quick as possible, then you work your way out with those gunfights. But instead I saw, they went in for a Azami ban. So of course Azami is also a very wise ban, because especially when you have a guy with those very good mechanical and quick reflexes, Azami can shut down any angle very quickly with those bulletproof Kiba barriers, of course. So it's going to be a vertical push coming in from the side of Team Phalanx, as we can see guy with Audacity using those sledgehammer to open up those soft walls, soft barricades, trying to make his way to the side of master bedroom area. And yes, with objective being on the first floor, they can play it out very good when trying to take up the vertical control toward the side of library.
Guy with Audacity is just slowly proceeding himself all the way towards the trophy. Will get detected from the default cams. Although for KIRA Esports, they'll have at least some idea that Team Phalanx are making their way all the way towards trophy, so they've got to be careful towards the first floor side. Now, since the whole hallway towards mezzanine and blue stairs has been taken care of with the help of those deployable shield, but you got to be careful
Good
on the
one.
flank. Oh, I had no idea that Amar
Bro,
gets away with
bro.
2 kills from the same stairs, but removing both Guy with Audacity and Don Escobar.
What the?
And the chaos continues. Triple kill as he's on it for the ace. Headshot to remove devastating. And now all he needs to do is just focus on Hercules and Libra, which both of their location has already been given away from the Solarium stairs. And I believe this is exactly
No
what's going to
charges?
happen. Will we see a quad? No. Instant denial from Libra. And also, yeah, what happened to the air jabs? Did the air jabs did not give away the location? I believe it did not. Both of them, both of the air jabs was placed, but apparently that Amar somehow manages to slip through the cracks and get away with 3 important kills. Now this is not looking good from Phalanx's end.
With that triple kill coming in from the side of Death Hammer, I guess most of the job has been already done. Libra goes down. He's in the game of state. I don't think so. Hercules will try to make him for a push, but it's going to be the black shield coming into the play. Takes a little bit of damage, a heavy damage. I'm really sorry. Libra is already down. Try to revive herself, revive his teammate as quickly as possible. Libra is on very low HP. Hercules just, I would say, about 5% or 10% more. Flashbang going in, trying to make their way towards out of this particular library hallway. I don't think so. It's going to be the right time to make his push. Vortex takes on Hercules. Libra with a 1v4 scenario. With that HP being not in the favor, Shusha will shut him down, and KIRA Esports backs the first round with their favor. On their favor.
Yep.
But
3
it puts me in a
kills.
question. Sorry, please go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
It puts me in a question. Like, did you actually saw him placing air jabs? Because I personally didn't. Because if there was an air jab towards the stair side, that could have resulted Death Hammer giving his position away. Because last time I saw, there was one impact nade left on when he took the 3rd kill. So maybe Sledge, when he was exactly pushing in from the side of the trophy stairs, Nomad could have gone together with the Sledge, place up one single one onto the stairs, and then try to push it up. But yeah, nonetheless, KIRA Esports wins up the first round onto the map option.
I mean, the main reason why I said that the Nomad did place his air jabs, because Nomad has a total of 3 air jabs. And I did get to see the indicator saying that the Nomad only had 2 left. So I assumed that one of the air jab was placed, but I'm kind of guessing that it was placed at the hallways of kitchen instead of Solarium stairs. Plus, mainly because first, they didn't had any information regarding this. Second, they forgot to remove the default cams, in which they did in the end. And Death Amar making a decision to go all the way towards Solarium stairs without any support, without any crossfire angles, not a nothing. It was a solo simple push all the way from Solarium stairs, and he ended up getting those important 3 kills. Now Phalanx, they need to be careful about this. This is a huge risk being made from Death Armor's end. If you remove Death Armor immediately, if he makes an attempt of making solo plays like that, then Team Phalanx would not have any problems regarding this issue. But getting caught off like that is going to put themselves in a major disadvantage. And now in round number 2, the side being on kitchen and dining, you have both Armor and Vortex holding out those crossfire angles in towards library. And since they have ample amount of information from the default camps, all they've got to do is just make sure that they don't get picked off in the first place and ensure that they play accordingly to time. Information is being given from Vortex. They'll try to challenge the angle from Fireplace entrance, but turns out we might have a bit of an issue because... actually, no, we don't have any issue. We're back. All right, we're back. It's safe 5-5. And Don Escobar will decide to bring in one of his cluster charges to see whether if he can blind out a certain defender.
Yeah, he's trying to make his way to the side of master bedroom area, but for now we can see Srisha playing into the side of basement. We have a Tharv with that great shotgun, and I have to say that's a sniper kind of shotgun. If you land it on a headshot, if you land a body shot, gets the person in a DB state, and especially when a headshot, to be correct myself, the person is killed immediately. So Atharv is having a very good angle, so that confirms there's only one guy toward the side of kitchen area. 4 of those guys are not in the objective. Maybe they can push in from the side of main hallway where we saw, I guess it was the side of Vortex who was defending the place. Yeah, they did that. They do that. They make his way towards the side of main hallway. The visiting has already placed his air jab, I believe. So this puts up Srisha in a bad state now because he cannot rotate from the main stairs quickly. And there's no more hallway. I would say a push coming in. So just Nomad trying to pick it up a little bit. Srisha with that little bit of pre-fire gets him up. Oh, devastating, gets shut down from the hands of Srisha. That was kind of unexpected from my side. But for Naga with the audacity trying to go in from the blue hallway, and he gets up and he picks Srisha, makes the situation 4v4. A third takes a little bit of damage, but that's going to be result up and just 10% of the HP left. Vortex also trying to, just deny that part 3 of the defender returning back toward the side of objective, but these all flash back, and there's no way they can just deny. Oh, Escobar, what do you do? What did you do? He picks up with me. It's gonna be a double kill coming in from side of Audacity. 3v3 is gonna be the situation going down. Plant is also going down. Athar takes up one. That one. What? Just Phalanx, did you just do that? What? I have no words left. How you can leave that smoke right there? How? There was
Concussions.
one guy. No, there was 2 guys actually. It was one Ying who had that, I guess, because maybe just Ying didn't went in, or maybe that was a lack of coordination because the other guy didn't give a call out to Ying. So like this was a major, I would say, a mistake, man, coming in from South Team Phalanx, because they had enough time to plant it. They had enough time to, just play the post-plant situation to get those angled, revamped, and on their side. This was a major blunder. Yeah, blunder. That's going to be the right word. A major blunder from the side of Team Phalanx, man.
We got caught with a concussion from the Zofia, Ying's Candelas, flashbangs, destruction from the explosives of the Zofia's impact. And the most problem for Phalanx is that they forgot to check the corners. That's all they did. They forgot to check the corners and let a Widwi get away with a kill. And not only just that, although they've opened up the wall towards second floor master bedroom, that gave an easier access towards Vortex, I believe, who did get the final frags out all the way from the default plant. All you had to do was just wait for them to head in for the default plant. Vortex, all the way from second floor, uses the vertical line of sight and just remove them one by one. Phalanx, on the other hand, they took way too much time on pushing towards kitchen, and this definitely wasn't a good idea, Phalanx. Trophy control wasn't even in their hands. They literally got stuck towards Fireplace Hall. They had no other options. They kept droning, hoping that they'd find a weak point in their strategy, but turns out they couldn't find one. And once they made a decision to push in towards the side and first floor kitchen, the wall hasn't been opened up. They still try to push. Turns out that did not happen. And next thing you know, Phalanx kept losing control of that situation every single second. Now on round number 3, KIRA Esports securing 2 important rounds on defense. Both of them were on second floor master bedroom and also on first floor. Shrisha has to be careful when it comes to making peaks like that. Actually, not Shrisha, apologies. It was a Vidwi who made a peak like that. And he still wants to contest this all the way from fireplace entrance. Not quite sure if this is a good idea, but at least it will cause a lot of problems towards them. And a Libra, not quite sure what exactly happened. I mean, you even saw a Whitby shoot a lot of bullets with the P10 Roni. He at least could have known exactly that a Whitby would be in that position, but turns out did not. And Libra losing his life like that is going to put KIRA Esports on a major advantage.
Nice.
How? How does a Whitby get away with the second kill like that? Guy with Audacity will at least get the first frag to remove Vortex out. But how do you let a Whitby get away with 2 kills in fireplace? How?
I mean, like, this is what I was talking about, man. The coordination not being right from the side of Team Phalanx. I have to say this, man. Even we do in rank, because if that one guy is trying to open up the wall, the second guy actually watches toward the side of library and try to not let anyone push in from library stairs. But no, the Thatcher was not watching it and covering it exactly. Sorry, covering the Thermite, and this is exactly went in. Nate coming in from the side of Phalanx. A third has to switch his position up. Dethamar gets 1. Devastating goes down. Just 25 seconds left on the clock. Dethamar takes a little bit of damage. Don Escobar trying to make his situation again. Athar gets out. A very good kill coming in from the side of Don Escobar. Still, they can make it if guy with Audacity takes this particular guy from the side of Piano area. But if they don't, it's going to be Dethamar pushing down Don Escobar. Shisha goes another one. And KIRA Esports winning up the third round onto their favor, and back-to-back again is going to be the same story. Last time KIRA Esports were on the attack, they won back-to-back 3 rounds, and this time they are on the side of defense, winning back-to-back 3 rounds into their favor. But how you can do this mistake? How Thatcher was not inside and not covering Thermite. Instead, he was just covering 1, or I would say maximum of 2 angles from the side of the other small stairs to the side library, and this just one library door. This is what I was talking about, like, another major blunder, man. I have to say this because Team Phalanx had that last round as well. Compared to what I saw from this particular round, we are not covering Thermite when you're trying to open up the wall, making your way to plant up the diffuser. But okay, those 3 rounds going to the favor of KIRA Esports. Now they can, refresh their minds up, try to, analyze what's going wrong, what's going not right into their favor. But yeah, man, a lot of mistakes being made, especially if you talk about the side of Libra. He himself saw it was I guess Srisha, yes, with that Aruni pre-firing, venting toward the side of towards his right, and if we take from Srisha perspective, going left in the hallway towards kitchen. So you could have easily anticipated there's going to be one guy. Instead, you look up and you push. So yeah, man, these are some of the mistakes that Phalanx need to, just revamp and get things right into their favor from their side. Sorry.
Oh boy, I'm not quite sure what exactly is going to happen from Phalanx's end, but man, there are so many mistakes that Phalanx is doing right now. You've got to fix it ASAP. The way you see the initial kills still being in favor for KIRA Esports, it's even more scarier than enough. And Srisha, he still wants to attempt this. And the best part about it is that no one is actually contesting this. No one has a proper idea on where his location is, but his location will be given right away. And turns out a Team Phalanx will at least find the opening, by removing both Vortex and Death Armor. But you still forgot about Avidwi. Never mind, Libra. You will get away with a headshot. It's a 2v5. KIRA Esports thought about going very aggressive in this round. And turns out Team Phalanx were equipped, adept, and prepped for this situation. They have ample amount of time. Within 45 seconds, it's a 2v5 situation. Not a single player on the side of Team Phalanx have been eliminated, which means that they can play this nice and easy. They just need to deal with 2 players. They could do it by finding information from the attack drones. Here comes the push. Will he succeed? No! A flashbang being thrown from Libra will give away his life. That's very unfortunate, but at least It's just one player down. You still have four more players on side of Team Phalanx. They could recover this round, but they're still having major issues from this hallway
Oh,
itself.
good.
Finally, the deployable shield will be destroyed, but Chief Strisha, he is still alive. Let's not forget the crossbar angles that's been made all the way from the library side will be difficult. And here comes Devastating all the way from the flank. He
Nice.
will find one. Now it's a 1v4, 1v3 as a third secures a kill with the
Good one.
SMG-11. But loss of control in towards the library will eventually give the win for Team Phalanx. Amidst all of the chaos that had been made all the way from round number 1, 2, and 3, they will finally secure a round on attack in round number 4 itself by securing those important heavy frags, mainly because KIRA Esports decides to go very aggressive and
Very
ended up being
aggressive.
its downfall.
Yeah, like on how even the over aggressive. I'm really sorry. Being much over aggressive after winning 3 rounds makes sense, but what makes better the side of Team Phalanx trying to just be ready with that players coming from the side of Srisha, whether it was Avidvi, even we saw Melusi, sorry, Srisha only. Melusi holding up pretty good on the side of Megan Stairs on how Zofia just went in and destroyed that deployable shield. Overall, a very good round coming from the side of Team Phalanx on how they are adapting the situation pretty well. That puts up in that such spot on how they can play from now on. They can work their way out, try to make it 3-2 before the swap is about to be made on when they will go to the side of defending the sides of Chalet. Yes, they can make it a 3-2, but on how Kira Esports will again now just not give away a round like that, on just not to be that over aggressive on just peeking those wide angles, trying to get those early kills. This can go anywhere around. And let me remind you folks, if you are just listening in on our casting, that yes, Kira Esports have already secured in the first map. That's going to be the map of Clubhouse with a scoreline of 7-3. And Team Phalanx were definitely not looking very strong onto the map of Clubhouse. So this can be another story, because this is what were exactly happening in. Just convert it up like Kira Esports are on attack and Team Phalanx are on defense. Kira Esports won back-to-back 3 rounds on the attack. This is going to be the same pattern that we are seeing. Kira Esports won back-to-back 3 rounds on defense, and Team Phalanx got the fourth round, yes. But yes, Kira Esports can make that similar story happen also onto the map of Chalet from what we are seeing right now up against Team Phalanx. Because Team Phalanx did get that win because exactly Kira Esports allowed it. Kira Esports went in for a very aggressive play, which they didn't succeed in. Because yes, you gotta give that heads up for the side of Team Flag that they adapted to the aggressive play from the side of Kira Esports and countered it pretty well. But what if Kira Esports decides not to do that kind of aggressive play very often? Yes, this can be a gunfight happening in from the side of, I guess that's going to be Zofia. Yes, it's going to be Zofia going up against Death Hammer, and this can go anywhere. I'm not really sorry. It's going to be Vortex, and Vortex gets trapped. Death Hammer counters it. It's going to be devastating. Go down for sure. And now, I think that was a very good switch up coming in. I almost saw Death Hammer changing the position with Vortex and trying to watch his flank. And this can be a very, I would say, good trick and good reflag being made from the side of Kira Esports to equalize the manpower and retreat back towards the site.
Yeah, this is good progress being made from Phalanx. Good focus on removing Vortex while he was the main cause of the threat. Now, since they can heavily focus in towards the kitchen side, they've got to make sure that a Widby has been taken care of. And since those smoke gas canisters will not being used as of now, they still need to make sure to open up the wall as fast as possible. And once again, time is still running out, and even more so, less control on the second floor itself. Libra will go down, which means a revival should be made from their team, but instead it ends up with the hands of Death Armor as he gets 3 kills just by trying to revive Libra. Not enough control left. It's a quad. He will secure the kill, and now he is trying to find his 5th. Hercules all the way towards the first floor. Will he get the ace? Well, turns out we will seal it. KIRA Esports secures round number 5. Although they were heavily focused on removing the flank from the basement side, what they really had to focus on to was control in towards second floor master bedroom. They should have just focused on that first. Remove the electric claw being placed from first floor kitchen. And since the push from fireplace hall isn't happening, then push in towards trophy. Better yet, push in towards library. I mean, if library doesn't work out, then maybe it could have been best for Team Phalanx to push it in towards, the windows side of bathroom side. There was a lot of options that Team Phalanx could have, gotten control on second floor by just not opening up or breaching up the walls on second floor office itself. There was a lot of opportunities where Team Phalanx could have, went through, but going with the same push twice in the in the same area where KIRA Esports had secured both of their rounds on first floor kitchen. Not quite sure if it was a good idea, Phalanx. Once again, although I admire the teamwork that you guys have made on towards the basement to remove Vortex, but you guys did took a lot of time just to remove one player. And since you removed one of the roamers, you still had to focus on the site. You still had to focus on blowing up the wall. You still had to focus on removing a Whitby because they had a lot of backups. They had a lot of denials. You need to focus on removing the denials first, so that you guys can have the higher chances of succeeding in towards post plan. The attackers are needs to make sure that they secure post plant first and let the defenders come to you instead of coming to them.
Yeah, exactly. But on how just that hammer completely, I have to use the word destroyed Saro Team Phalanx with back-to-back quad kills coming to the favor, especially back-to-back. I would say the triple kill which went in, and take a look what's happening right in. Death Hammer and the side of Vortex trying to make Libra again fall into the bait, and this can be one thing up again. But no, it's going to be Audacy to take out Vortex. A very smart kill coming in from the side of Team Phalanx. Libra just need to make sure he watch all the angles before making his way to the side of main door area. But guy with Audacity already being into the side of main stairs, library stairs, this can be pretty much interesting on how he can use those Ratero drones, I'm really sorry, to being just destroy those kite chargers, destroy those kite electro chargers, try to destroy those deployable shield on how just want to make an entry. Of course, there are Banshee charges also, Banshee mines also there as well. So yes, Audacity with that advantage being inside the map is proving very beneficial for the side of Team Phalanx for now.
Breaches will be done, although there was an attempt of a trick from a Thurv's end. But now he'll be forced to make a decision. Oh boy, no, definitely not a good idea, Thurv, to be picking like that. But you still have Death Armor to recover it nonetheless. But it's too late. It's a 2v4. A Whitby misses a lot of opportunity, but he still gets the pistol, runs away to safety while the explosive drone blasts off at the wrong timing. Equalizer is in 3v3. The Nomad is just trying to hope to find a pick or two all the way towards the stairs, but they still haven't gotten control on the site yet. The breach is already done. The piano window is still being looked at, and Avitwi is so close to it. He will find the player out, but he doesn't want to give away his position just yet. There was an attempt of a run out, but instead he's not going to do it just yet because KIRA Esports are going to play it accordingly to time. 30 seconds. Now we get to see the defenders on the side of KIRA Esports playing this as safe as possible because they don't have any defensive utilities. Avitwi going in for a peek ends up being its downfall. Devastating gets one. So does Shrisha. A Claymore attempt while he was going in for a run out. And now it's all down to Death Armor to clusters 1v2. There was an attempt to use the Bailiff shotgun to open up that lines of sight. He did almost remove out the planter, but it was too late. He only has 30 seconds and he required a total of 6 seconds to defuse. And Death Hammer, he might be able to get it through the wall. Gets away to remove Libra. And now it's all at the hands of Don Escobar. He needs to secure this kill or else Team Phalanx will have a lot of problems for it. Only 6 seconds and Death Hammer will have a lot of problems once again. Don Escobar, Death Hammer, will he get it? No, nice. Don Escobar will finally get the frag nonetheless. Knowing exactly where that run out would happen via the sound cues, Team Phalanx will at least secure their first half on a 4-2 scoreline. There's a lot of questionable decisions that had been made from both the sides, especially, from both the sides. Phalanx, they were heavily reluctant on, getting control onto a second floor. You did get to see that there was good control in denying flanks. You even saw an attempt of a run out. There was attempt of an overpeaks being made from the Aruni. And since when they even though they've equalized it to a 3v3, they didn't had any necessary utilities to deny the plant, mainly because it was heavily relied on the Kaid. The electric clause was present, and since the trick did not work out because the trick the EMP the EMP timing was so good that it did
Yeah.
eventually it didn't work out well from the Kaid's end. Maybe if they had abandoned it, they could have just removed those exothermic charges very quickly. But the timing is what Phalanx gets away with a win like that. But it's still a shaky round nonetheless. Phalanx, they lost a lot of bodies. It was a 1v2. Death Amar, he did get away with an important kill like that. So
Yeah.
I've got to say, round number 7, second half, Phalanx on defense. Will we see a major breakthrough, or will KIRA Esports continue their wins on attack in the second half?
Especially if you talk about the even compared to this first half, and I try to just also mix it up with the last map. All from the side of Kira Esports, every other player is winning maximum of the gunfights. But if you especially look from the side of Team Phalanx, it's going to be Libra and Hercules just struggling up a little bit with their gunfights. That of course, many of us can say they are playing the support ops, going for those drone work, but still, Libra on the this particular map only we saw him doing a very big mistake of not looking around the corner, especially when he saw Aruni going towards his right, and he just gets in. So I would say maybe when if Team Flanks try to win individual of those gunfights towards their favor, yes, that can be one thing less to worry about. But compared to what I saw on the first map, Team Phalanx were looking more confused with their attacks for maximum of the rounds compared to what I saw on map number 1. Team Phalanx take the previous round itself. When the plant was going down, both of the attackers who were trying to push it towards the side of piano area, they're not sure if you want to push or just want to bait it out. It was the side of the KIRA Esports. I don't remember the exactly was the guy who went into the Claymore. He was that guy who peeked in and they got the kill. So yes, they need to be a little bit more confident with their play on how they want to approach the objective. Try to think what you want to do before the round gets started, before the action phase gets started. Then of course you want to change it up by seeing how the defense is playing around. Yes, you can change it, but you have to play with a little bit more confident, and then try to win, like I said previously, win maximum of your gunfights into their favor, into your own favor. But for now, the swap has been made. Like you said, man, we might expect a breakthrough coming in from the side of Team Flanks. We might see a back-to-back rounds being into their favor. But Kira Esports being very strong on their attack on the map number 1. Let's see what they do and what they have in store for map number 2. That's going to be the map of Chalet. After the swap has been made, 4-2 will be the score line. Shisha on the Twitch trying to destroy those default camps. Will also try to destroy those maybe electro cores from the side of Kai, or also the holograms from the side of LFI. Let's see what, like I said, let's see what they have in store for this round of attacks from the side of Kira Esports.
Yeah, for Team Phalanx, if they have to secure the round on defense, they've got to make sure that they have control on their choke points. And since Mezzanine's control will be at the hands of Kira Esports with just the control on towards library, well, we're going to see an example just like that. Deathama starts it off with a headshot to remove the alibi, which could have been very helpful for denying pushes like that. Just by not having control on Mezzanine will give away the control of the entire wall that's going to be breached from Athav's end. Exothermic charge will be used. They even got the control. All they've got to do is just ensure that they have control on first floor to make sure that they don't have any denials like the C4s. Inverted repel will be, quickly gone up all the way towards the roof. A cooked nade from Death Armor once again will find its prey.
No one's watching.
Takes out Libra. Again, cooked grenade. Won't be able to find anyone, but the amount of information that they've gained from Kira Esports is just too much. And somehow that armor is just uncontested. Phalanx, they have no idea, no information, nothing. It's a 5v1. C4 will catch one of the down players. A second kill from Devastating. Headshot removes Trisha. We still got to be careful on the rest of the 3 players. Revival will be made, but somehow there is some slight glimmering sight of hope. Devastating finds one. Glimmering slight of hope. Again, apologies. 1v3. Devastating still has a chance to win this, but got to be very careful about this. Post plant will still be given. He doesn't have control on the site itself. No C4s will be given. Post plant will be made. Only 44 seconds. Death Hammer, with the help of his suppressor, he will find his prey nonetheless. Only 5 HP remains, and Vortex will be the one to cover it up. KIRA Esports, not a single problem at all on round number 7, as they will secure their round on attack, ending round number 7 on a 5-2 scoreline.
Boy, oh boy, Death Hammer just going a wall on this map again, man. 14-4. I guess that, yeah, he's 14-4 right now on how the scoreline is looking in. He's doing the majority of those frags going into this favor. Of course, when you're taking a guy like him, when you're combining with operators like Sledge, combining with operators like I guess he was also playing Sledge and Thatcher on the last round, if I recall it correctly. So he's doing much of the job of just denying the defense to just come in and play with the utilities. And overall, I would say again, nobody was watching the piano room. The guy got out. Nobody was there for backup. Team Phalanx, two of those roamer defenders were already down. So that needs to be worked upon. If you are already 2 or 3 rounds down, not the scoreline being equalized, you have I guess you have no option rather than playing very much passive and most like try to waste most of the time as much as possible for the side of attacks. You go in for those early peaks, you go in for those aggressive plays, KIRA Esports is gonna shut you down. You have seen it happening in on the map number 1 with you. You are doing the same mistake again on the map number 2. Map number 1 happening in the map number 1. I'm really sorry when you are doing the same mistake on map number 2. So I just feel like yes, Team Phalanx needs to just stop playing very aggressive. Just try to maybe just maximum of one at roamer should be there. Try to play passive, try to play with those utilities as much as to your favor. Just I guess that should be that way to just grab on that equalizing score line and then try to play with your stats as much as possible, like how you just want to play it, man.
Yeah, this time they'll have some fortifications being made. The mirrors, 2 lines of sight, and somehow Death Hammer gets away with the opening pick. Once again, round number 7. Whenever you see Death Hammer on attack, he always succeeds his initial frags, both on map Clubhouse, and now he's doing the same thing on Chalet too. And this time removing out the Jaeger. They've already gained control on Library. Devastating, takes a lot of damage. C4's being tossed out. Will that connect? No, it does not. Will deal some minor damage to Whitby, but he'll still stay alive nonetheless. Flashbangs being thrown around, but somehow you forgot about Devastating. He's still in mezzanine. KIRA Whitby, you had no idea about this. You were still trying to have a fight. Mid-range shotgun shot will force Death Hammer on a DBNO state, and now he's going very aggressive. He was going for the confirmation of the kill, in which he does that. Beautiful hold being made from Devastating, all the way from mezzanine hallway. And KIRA Esports, they should have been very careful about this. They still have a lot of time left, but not a lot of man count. And since Devastating is still alive and kicking all the way from mezzanine hallway, it's all up to Shrisha to see whether if he could balance the odds. Only a minute left. Shrisha once again pushing very cautiously. Might be able to find a player or two, but no, a quick peek will give away Guy with Audacity the kill that he requires. But now his location has been given away with the peek like that. Vortex knows exactly what's happening. All it requires is just the perfect timing. But no, he's not going to give away his positionings just yet. 42 seconds. It's a 2v4. Make that 1v4 as Devastating secures his 3rd kill. Headshot, remove Vortex. And now Devastating will fall down. Gets confirmed at the hands of a 3rd. 1v3. 30 seconds left. The main reason why KIRA Esports is going to lose on round number 8 mainly has to do with the control in towards Library, because of it we had no idea where Devastating location was. Should have been, a bit we should have been very careful from the hallway side of mezzanine. If he could have been, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Don Escobar will secure his kill, and with it we will get to see Team Phalanx secure their defensive rounds on round number 8.
Yes, finally we see Team Phalanx finally after a long time a round victory, and that one defense that puts up that statement. Yes, that can be 1 point, that one breakthrough which is about to happen from the side of Team Phalanx to just win it up back to back, make the scoreline equalize 5-5. But yes, talking about that play coming from Avidi, I guess when Sledge, I guess it was Sledge or maybe it was the other player was using those flashbangs. I guess he gave the wrong call, or maybe he was not also confirmed that devastating is flashbanged. He's in stunt, like he's on all his screen is all white, and you can push. I guess that's the mistake that which they did. Devastating was not flashbang, and he just went for the kills. He just went AWOL after that. Back-to-back kills coming in. He also took out the last guy who was covering with that, covering himself with the prone with that small counter towards the window. So this was, I would say, might be that one point because I feel like that exactly what happened. But take a look with that score line, especially onto the side of Death Hammer, 16-4. Boy, oh boy, this is some another kind of play coming from out of Death Hammer, another kind of performance that we are seeing in. So I guess a lot of more of other of the four players need to step up more. If you're not able to get those gunfights right, you should do. And the same term also applies for the side of Team Phalanx. Nonetheless, 5-3 will be the scoreline for now. Yes, exothermic charges being played. Devastating will go for the Kite Electro Claw. Nonetheless, it gets open. So a minor 1 second delay from the side of Team Phalanx. And the main wall has been opening. KIRA Esports have all the time in the world to make their play from the vertical, from the hard breach wall they have, which they have just opened, the garage wall which they have just opened. So they are just being quick, trying to shut this down pretty quickly, trying to go on the match point with a score line of 6-3. Let's see KIRA Esports what they do onto the round number 9.
Yeah, this time the site will be on basement snowmobile and garage, and turns out KIRA Esports wants to push the site the standard way. Line of sight will be used all the way from the hallway side, so does opening up the hatches, which would put Hercules on a very confusing state, mainly because he needs to focus on multiple angles as in blue stairs, which will be currently focused with the help of the player who is holding the SMG-11, Don Escobar. So blue will be heavily covered. All he's got to do is just make sure that Hercules could focus on the breach as well as the stairs. And also the vertical on the side, which will be placed around from a Widwie's end. Breach charge will be used once more. He's going to use it for information as of now. But since they don't have control onto his kitchen, and now the reply will be given up, somehow the grenade just flows around. Gets a shot off from Hercules. How does Death Hammer gets away with an opening pick like that? Either from a grenade or a headshot from the weapon. Vortex will secure one more. Wall bang towards the kitchen side, 4v3, but Death Hammer on the other hand, he's been down but not out state. He will be revived nonetheless from the stairs itself, but now they're losing a lot of time. They need to commit for the plant. Here comes the smoke to block lines of sight, and also the C4 won't be able to find anyone at the moment, all the way towards the second floor site. 50 seconds, Dawn gets caught out from Vortex. It's a 4v2, but devastating. He needs to run towards the side as quick as possible, gets caught out, information's been given, and now they will secure post plant, but somehow devastating gets away with the kill. Vortex is downed, but now you got to be careful on those certain lines of sight. 5v3 once again. Devastating is currently in a state of deja vu. 1v2, and Death Hammer will finally get the kill nonetheless and secure a match point for Team KIRA Esports. My goodness, how many times have we seen Devastating be in a 1vx situation? Well, it's been quite a lot. Yeah,
Quite a lot. Man. And this puts the player in a very, I would say, kind of like exhausted, because every time you put him in a 1v4 1v3, every time he makes a situation maximum of the time he makes it 1v2 1v1, but nonetheless the overall score line doesn't get into his favor, into his team favor. So it kind of gets exhausted mentally as well as physically, or just trying to make your way in. But KIRA Esports is just being better. Match point for the side of KIRA Esports with a scoreline of 6-3. And I guess history is repeating itself from the side of map. What we saw on map number 1. I'm sorry, Baba. Baba Gusta, yeah. I was about to call you Blackjack. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Bullet. It happens. You know, most of the time, we'd usually get confused when it comes to calling out the caster's name. But, yeah, it happens. Don't worry about that. It happens.
Especially,
time,
I just noticed Baba starts with B, B-Rain starts with B, even Bullet starts with B, and Blackjack also starts with B. Just having fun. Never mind.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could say it's always the B and B show. You know, Baba, Blackjack, and Bullet the crazy gamer. But yeah, focusing on the task at hand. Also, sad noises to CCV. 6-3 match point it is for KIRA Esports. The big question is, can they secure this match point? Now, Phalanx, on the other hand, they've had a major problem once the site was on basement snowmobile garage site itself. So I mean, I've got to say, this is a. You could say it's almost a lost cause coming in from Phalanx Z, but still, we could have some hopes for them. Maybe we could see them fling back. They've got to figure out a way to remove Death Armor first because he's the main cause of the problem for Phalanx. Death Armor has secured 5 opening picks on map Clubhouse. And at this point on map Chalet, I'm pretty sure it's going to be even more than that. Quick peek from
Oh,
Vortex
oh,
will give away the information from the Frost, but he will get away safely. So he'll just fall back and make sure to get
nice
away with
one.
the kill. But on the other hand, that armor being removed at the hands of Hercules is actually a good sign. And the
Nice
second
one.
headshot from Guy of Audacity is going to put Team Phalanx on a much better stable state.
Yeah, that are also going down. So I would say the guy who's taking on the maximum of the frags, you have taken him down. So 50% of the job being done from the side of Team Phalanx, because Death Hammer was causing a lot of trouble for the side of Team Phalanx, back-to-back kills here and there. But for now, what they have successfully done is that to take up that library control, and 2 of the guys already down. So this can be one point where a Tharv and both together with a Vidvi can make their way. But hey, here comes Trisha. Here comes Trisha. Takes out Hercules. He also has the intel of the other guy. He can go for a wall bang. Even Mamai knows it for sure that somebody's going to push him up. Trisha gets away with the wall bang. Libra goes down. Man advantage being equalized. What did just Trisha do? This is what I was talking about. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. The Turf takes out guy with Audacity. Makes the situation more even to their side. And this can be one trouble point of coming in for the side of Team Phalanx, because he is already inside the site and they can go for a plant. If Don Escobar gets caught out, it's going to be a little bit problem. No, he comes Risha, he comes Avidvi. Boy, oh boy, a score line of 7-3 once again. When with a man advantage to being your favor, I have to say this Team Phalanx, you just gave it away, bro. You just gave it away this final round. It was to your favor. I guess, like Srisha just went in, he got the first kill. But coming in from the side of Libra, he knew that somebody's gonna push in. You just dodged the last bullet from the Srisha's gun. You could have avoided that gunfight. Instead, went in back from the I guess what you call it, the bathroom stairs. If I'm recalling it correctly, incorrect. I'm really sorry. But you could have just backed off from that gunfight and tried to just keep that manpower alive to your favor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
7-3, 7-3 on both the maps of Clubhouse and Chalet. And we all know what would be the end result. It will be KIRA Esports who will secure 2 of the maps. And also, we'll take a look at the highlights itself on map Chalet itself to see exactly what happened. Well, you could say it was more of like a highlight reel towards Death Armor because his initial frags as an attacker has been a
Lovely
lot
one.
on both the
बहुत सही.
maps. Although, if I have to talk about the best sides from Team Phalanx's side, I've got to say it has to be from Devastating, especially with his plays as the mute, the SMG 11, his plays towards Mezzanine. Really did, give the opportunity that they needed, but there's a lot of mistakes that have been made from both the sides, especially a lot of flanks which hadn't been watched thoroughly. Really did give a lot of points from both the sides, but nonetheless, it's usually Death Armor who's been making a lot of heavy work. His plays as the sledge, the cooked grenades working to his favors, and also making sure that even if they do lose a lot of time, they still make sure to get the kill nonetheless. And Midway, yes, of course, there were some great plays being made from his end, but there were also some major mistakes that have been made from his end too. So you could say his favor majorly balanced from both the sides, but in the end, it was Team Phalanx. Who had a lot of problems when it comes to their teamwork capabilities. But yeah, I've got to say, like, they did wasted a lot of time on attack once when the site was on first floor kitchen. They pushed in when they only had 30 seconds left, while sometimes even the walls hadn't been opened up properly with the help of those exothermic charges. So there was a lot of factors that really put Phalanx at a very bad state. But hopefully we might be able to see Phalanx fling back on their next future matches. But all in all, it will be KIRA Esports who will secure both their maps on a 7-3, 7-3 scoreline on both Clubhouse as well as on Map Chalet.
Yes, and I have to just say 2 things, man, for the both sides. First, compared to what I have saw, again, no disrespect, I'm gonna say this: two side of Kira Esports perform way better than this against teams like Mercenaries. But coming to facing KIRA Esports and then falling 7-3 on both maps. It's a similar story, man. What happened is that KIRA Esports were attacking first onto the map of Clubhouse, and this time they were defending first. So this was the same story, just back to back, back and forth round, but into the favor with the same lead, with just 2 round lead, the same story. But for the side of KIRA Esports, yes, one can say they were just performing way too brilliant compared to the side of Team Phalanx. Way too better performance coming in from the side of Death Hammer. And I guess this was the boost needed from the side of KIRA Esports. This was the boost needed for to the side of KIRA Esports to just bounce back more stronger in the future matches. Match summary coming in. Take a look. 4 first kill coming into the favor of KIRA Esports. Death Hammer with a 18-5 score line. Take a look what Devastating has to answer that. Just 10 kills. And yes, Hercules and Libra were falling very short with those first kills. Also with those winning those individual gunfights into their favor. But yes, again the similar scoreline what we saw onto the map of Clubhouse. 7-3 will be the scoreline to the favor of KIRA Esports. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, with that KIRA Esports have secured 4 more points into their bag of SAN. Overall, I guess KIRA Esports, if I'm not wrong, yes, we'll be taking a look at the finals standings too after this matchup, after this GFX. But I guess KIRA Esports are now into top 4, I believe. I might be wrong.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. Kira Esports will secure fourth place, but since Kira Esports have secured 2 points, won't stop peaking since that they had a forfeit win up against Militant Esports. So you could say it's a 7-0-7-0. And since Kira Esports had just won their matchup up against Team
Yeah,
Phalanx,
yeah,
it is 7-3, 7-3, which means that the huge round differential rate is all by itself much more favorable towards Team Won't Stop Peaking. So I'm pretty sure that it won't be changed, but it depends on how many
let's
points
see.
you have in the round conversion rate itself. So unless and until we get to see the standings properly, we're still stuck at speculating on who will be claiming the fourth place. Will it be Kira Esports or will it be Team Won't Stop Peaking? We have no idea. But for Team Phalanx, although I've got to say it was a well-made effort, but still, when it comes to having their crossfire angles being placed, I have to say for Team Phalanx, th- they didn't had a good day on both of those maps, both on
Yeah,
Clubhouse as well as on Chalet. Kira Esports had firm grip and control on every single situation. They even had the early, man count control. They even had perfect timing to push towards the side without facing any issues. Phalanx, on the other hand, took way too much time on attack, and on defense, once they pushed in towards the side, they started to lose a lot of crossfire angles. They heavily tried to be as passive as possible on defense, which it did ended up being in favor for Kira Esports because they exactly knew that time is of their essence, and whatever in utilities that they use, it will always favor up for them. Team stats itself on the side of Team Kira Esports: 80% cost to Srisha, 1.87 rating to Death Armor. This man right here with 80% cost, he is the man who has made a lot of first pick kills. It's because of Death Armor which led Kira Esports get victory on most of their matchups, especially when it comes to the execution on the side. I mean, everyone will be saying thanks to Death Armor mainly because of how easier it made for a Tharv, Shrisha, a Widwi, to open up those lines of sight easier by not being able to worry about any flanks being appeared at the hands of Phalanx. So it was all Death Armor who usually, did the initiative when it comes to making a push, getting the early picks, giving good information and good drone works, utilities being made from the side of Kira Esports really did give them a lot of help. And also, once again, from the player spotlight itself, Death Armor,
damn,
80% cost and
33
total of
level.
33 kills in these two maps.
I guess it's one of the highest what we have saw in BO. I would say it was just a 2 map matches. I guess it would have been a map that which have been gone to the third map. We could have been comparing into some of the mercenaries and hunters LFO map matches that we have saw some of the players going 40, almost 40. So I would say like a job very well done from the side of Dathama, especially onto the second map where he just went in, gone for the kill. Especially, I guess this was a kind of their strat. Like Dathama goes for the kill, the other 4 guys will be just going and play with those strats. Overall, cost percentage going up at 80%. KPR rating also very highest what I have seen. in a I would say a two map match based in what we have seen previously in ASEAN 1.65. I've seen like when only two maps are happening in a BO3, I've seen maximum of like 1.47, and this is one of the highest, I believe. So yeah, big ups to the side of Death Hammer. And I have to say this again, like KIRA Esports needed this boost, needed a map like just win it up to 2-0 up against any team, whether it could be Phalanx, any team which is playing in ASEAN. Try to just boost up their confidence, boost up their overall play, and especially with that points being securely, and try to get up in that top four, top three again in the SAN South Asia Nationals. So yes, I guess we are done for the overall standings, overall of the player summary. I really want to take a look at the overall standings, what we have right now after this particular matchup. Also, the previous matchup, what you just told Baba, like MLT forfeited. So yeah, it can be an advantage toward the side of WSP with a 7-0-7-0. So let's see what will be the overall standings for the day. But overall, what you have to say again, for the side of KIRA Esports and KIRA, like Team Phalanx, like you said, man, Team Phalanx were doing some of the mistakes, kind of like again and again. What I personally also feel what they did on map number one, but overall, I have to say one thing more, like Team Phalanx attack was again much more looking confused, not promising. I can also say less confident from what I saw what they were doing on Clubhouse, on the map of Clubhouse. They were like, okay, TK, okay, it's okay. If you want to push from a particular side, you want to push from a particular area, they want to push from a garage, they want to push in from garage. They're doing that. But on the map of Chalet, they're looking more confused from what I saw on the map of Clubhouse with their attacks.
Yeah, every single time you see Phalanx just try to open up the wall on first front kitchen, uh, Phalanx usually gets stuck and they have no idea on how to proceed with the side push itself, which in turn ended up with Kira Esports having the majority of control in that particular situation. But now, since our both of the matches have been done and dusted in day number 9, we also need to focus on tomorrow's matchups too. Two of the matchups, which will be Team Won't Stop Peaking Esports, will go up against MercenarieZ, which will be our first matchup for tomorrow. And then also we have our second matchup where Team Phalanx will go up against Team UWU. So for Team Phalanx, they still have a chance for them to put themselves back up and up against
Yep.
Team UWU, who are currently on not at a good state as I could as I could call it. Currently they're in the bottom of the leaderboards with not having a single point in their hand. It's a very difficult state for Team Uvu to be in. So let's take a look at the group standing once again and see exactly which team is currently at the top four, who has a chance to qualify in towards the playoffs itself. And looks like there is a huge major change here, folks. Hunters, Shaheens, KIRA
Yes.
Esports, and
Yes.
MRCZ. Hunters, Shaheens, and KIRA, all three of them securing 8 points, whereas MRCZ having 7 points in total, mainly because they had lost one of their matchups, I believe, up against, I believe it was either Team Phalanx. No, actually, Team Phalanx, it was 2-1. The only match that MRCZ had lost was up against KIRA Esports. It was 1-2, and that's the main reason why it's been secured with a total of 7 points. It went all the way to a best of three deciders. One Stop Peaking, on the other hand, have secured fifth place with a total of 6 points. Phalanx with four, Militant Esports with two, and last but not the least, Team Uwu, who are still currently struggling when it comes to getting a single win in this series.
Yeah, man. I would say Timo needs to like make a retreat. At least get a in the top four, top five with the matches being left out in their place. Also, I have to say this one last thing. Once again, man, Team Phalanx. What I have seen performing in the previous matches of whether it be Pro League, Pro Series, whether it's be the ASEAN itself, I guess it might be that one day that they're just not having their day, or maybe we can say KIRA Esports were on another banger level. But overall, KIRA Esports needed that victory. They are back in the top three. Yes, will be just all the very best for both our team for their future matches. For Team Flex right in the top three, bottom three, and KIRA Esports are right there at the top of top three position. So they have the both our teams need to perform very well for their future matches. Also, like Team Phalanx, yes, they need to go on to their drawing board again, try to rethink, try to rewatch the whole broadcast where they were doing things wrong, where they were things, correctly. But for the side of Kira Esports, yes, it was a much needed boost in the performance, what they needed to just break through in the SAN.
Yeah. Now we only have 5 days left in the group stages. 5 important days for these eight
Yeah.
teams to determine if they can have a spot in towards the playoffs. And if they do succeed, then they will undergo a double bracket elims. Double bracket, as in, we'll have both lower brackets as well as the upper brackets. All of those three matches will undergo a best of three matchups, in which the grand finals will be a best of five, which will happen in 6th of November. So until then, I've got to say, the group stages, there's still a lot of changes that can happen in the standings
Yeah.
itself. Maybe we could see a fourth place being changed up to a different team. But for now, these are all just speculations. And also, we just have to end the stream as well. So, all in all, this concludes day 9 for South Asian Nationals. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is me, Augusta. With me, I have Bullet as my co caster and also our Observer Assassin. And until then, we will see you guys in tomorrow. Until then, take care and enjoy Diwali, folks.
Yes.
I waited for someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think about it before this? If I pack my stuff, I'll leave sooner than this. Don't you Okay. Okay. Okay, back out fresh on the scene, 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 back out fresh on the scene,
Back out fresh on the scene.
back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team,
Franchise best on the team.
back out fresh on the scene,
Back out fresh on the scene.
back out fresh on the scene. Okay. Okay, back out fresh on the scene, 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 back out fresh on the scene,
Back out fresh on the scene.
back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team,
Franchise best on the team.
back out fresh on the scene,
Back out fresh on the scene.
back out fresh on the scene.
waiting for someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. myself for a while.